citizens of Earth, and welcome to Cinema Sanga's Across the Omniverse, the official podcast of the visitors here on your planet. My name is Devin, and I am your Supreme Commander. Joining me, as he traditionally does.
My name is Derek Ferracci, and I am against the conspiracy of scientists. They are evil. They need to be stopped at any cost.
For our folks at home who are just listening to the program, Derek, what's going on here? Why have we done the introduction like this?
You were dressed like one of the visitors.
Yeah, sure.
You have an amazing looking outfit. One you cannot comfortably wear anywhere. But,
no, it's a pretty weird one because it does have these swastikas on it. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd.
I've always called them scificas, like because they're science fiction swastikas.
I guess they are, but yeah, I mean, it's a little uncomfortable. But it's a nice outfit. Like, look at this.
Yeah, it's a great looking suit.
I got you very excited to see that I have the gun. The actual,
cool.
But this is it. This is the guns they have. They have very specific guns in the miniseries.
Yeah.
With this weird tube in the middle of them. So yeah. So if you're only
okay.
What?
The tube, it's funny because 99% of the time I've seen this show, these episodes, has been in 480p.
Yeah.
And like on VHS.
Yeah.
And I always thought there was just a space in the gun. I was like, what a weird design.
Yeah, I always, I wonder if there is a space in the gun and the tube is just how the gun is held together.
Maybe.
And then because of HD, it just gets really obvious as a result. Yeah. I do wonder if that's what's happening. Because it does seem like it's just a space in the gun. And it is kind of a cool design all on its own. It has a front handle, but I don't remember anybody ever really using the front handle on this, right?
No, I don't remember anyone using the front handle.
Anyway, yes, we're going to be starting our 5-part series on V, the original miniseries, and V, the final battle. And that's why I'm celebrating in my full visitor gear. This present for my friend Phil. Got me this for my birthday one year.
It's a beautiful suit. Well done, Phil. Phil, if you're looking to give away another one of those, let me know. I'll send you my sizes. I would love one of those.
What's nice is that it comes with it's like a red jumpsuit underneath. That's just like a Carhartt. And I could probably turn this into an MST costume if I wanted to.
I have an MST one that I made. I made that myself.
For like Halloween or something?
Yeah, I made it for Halloween a bunch of years ago.
Nice.
And I still have it in case I ever decide to accept another invitation to a Halloween party.
I pulled this out, and this when I'm heavier, this doesn't fit me. Yeah. And it's actually a little snug right now, to tell you the honest to God truth. But I pulled this out, and I was like, you know what? I hope I get an invite to a Halloween party this year. So I think if I'm still at this weight come Halloween, I'm gonna show up dressed like this.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? It's very cool.
Yeah,
I want to kick off things by saying, no matter what happens across these next 5 episodes, we have already succeeded in what my goal was.
What's that?
Which was getting someone who's never seen V to watch V.
Oh, no shit.
And I got a message from Buddy Shane yesterday that said, the V miniseries is really good. I'm debating watching the next episode, even though you guys won't be talking about it for another week.
Wow.
It's my first time watching. I was pretty into it almost immediately. Is this where people got the idea that there's a race of lizard people politicians? And I said, I don't believe that's where they got the idea, but I do believe it helped.
It's 100%.
It comes from this?
So you're not going to find anybody who's going to admit it, but David Icke, who's the main guy behind the lizard people from space that are actually hiding as human beings, he wrote his first book about this in 1999.
I thought it was older. I thought it came from like the way back.
Nope. So Robert E. Howard had written some stuff in his Conan stories about a race of serpent men who were pulling levers among the world and stuff like that. So there's obviously some elements of that. There was an occultist later on who began using some of those elements in it, but the whole space aliens who are secretly lizards who are pretending to be people among us, that's Robert Icke. That's Icke. David Icke, yeah. And so that's where that comes from. And he's British. This show played in Britain. Yeah. I guarantee that it came from this. Nobody has ever he's never said that. I mean, he claims it's real, so he's never going to say that. But there's just no planet where this does not heavily impact that particular conspiracy theory.
I always thought it came from that had been around since 60s, 70s. conspiracy theory stuff.
No, not seriously. No, no. I mean,
Wow.
there's been reptilian aliens, but they show up as
Yeah.
reptiles. They don't show up as people who are secretly reptiles.
Okay. Okay.
So
Well,
that's the big piece that makes
Shane,
it
I lied to you
interesting.
in the text then when I said no,
No, this
but
is
this
it.
helps
Yeah.
push it. So
I would say that this is 100%. Again, nobody said it, but I'm going to make the statement that I believe this is 100% where it comes from.
okay. I might
So-
contact my buddy John Tenney, who knows all this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
ask
See what
Tenny.
He knows. Yeah.
Ask Tenny. Maybe Tenny will do a little guest spot and record a little statement for us about any
Yeah.
information he has about the history of reptilian aliens, but specifically reptilian aliens pretending to be people.
Yes. That's the important part.
That's the important part. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the really important part.
Yeah. Because reptilian aliens, that goes way,
Way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had that for a while. So anyway, I was saving that for the actual episode discussion, but I'm glad you mentioned it right now, so we got it out of
There
the
you
way.
go. There you go.
For the folks that don't make it to the main episode discussion, now you heard that. And you go,
tricked you.
this is interesting. This is interesting. Maybe I do want to hear this main episode discussion.
Yeah.
How's life?
It's all right. I saw a bunch of movies this weekend, so I'm pretty happy. I'm doing all right.
What'd you see?
I saw Eternity on Apple TV.
What's that one?
It's I can't remember who's in it anymore.
Okay, Grandpa.
I can't. I literally can't remember. who's
It's
in
the
it.
one where people are in purgatory.
Yeah, and it's Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen are an old couple. He dies, and he's waiting for her in purgatory before choosing where they should spend all of eternity. And then she dies, and when she shows up, they find out that her first husband, who died in Korea in the Korean War, has been waiting for her for 67 years. And it's a whole thing of like, who's she going to choose to spend eternity with kind of deal. And it's good. It's a good movie. It's definitely like, it's hard not to see defending your life in it. There's a lot of defending your life in the movie. But the biggest problem is that Miles Teller is miscast as like he's supposed to be kind of like the schlubby Nevish guy. And it's like, no, you're Miles Teller. You have, leading man looks. You need somebody like a Seth Rogen or like an Albert Brooks type for that role, where it's like she can't choose between them, the perfect, gorgeous, war hero and the guy she ended up being with after he died, who she loves, but he's tough to get along with sometimes, and it just doesn't work as well, I don't think, when it's Miles Teller. Not that he does a bad job, but
What else did you see?
I saw Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Mm-hmm. Is that good?
It was good. It dragged a bit towards the end. It got a little draggy, I thought.
Okay.
But overall, it's very good.
And what else did you see?
And I saw Cold Storage.
Oh, how was that? That's the Joe Keery. Now that I'm a Steve from Stranger Things guy.
Yeah. It's good. It's really fun. It's very fun. Yeah. Yeah. It's really well done.
Huh.
I enjoyed
Interesting.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go see the Dracula tomorrow.
I almost saw Dracula yesterday, but I got out of Cold Storage and it was like 9:00, and the next showing of Dracula is 9:45. I was like, I just want to go home now.
Yeah, I get it. I had a Chipotle burrito for lunch, and it's been doing a little bit of work on me. And this suit's a little bit snug. And earlier, I put it on way earlier. Like I tried it on. Like I got ready for the show way early to sort of try it on, see if I needed to maybe do something to make this work. And because I hadn't put this on in a long time, it's been sitting in my closet for years. And so I was like, okay, this is great. And then 10 minutes before the show, I had to go to the restroom. And unfortunately, this is the kind of costume where every single piece has to come off before I can go to the restroom. And right now, my belly's doing a little bit of business, and I'm like, you can't. No, we're not going back to the restroom. We can't, because this is going to be a 15-minute. This is a 15-minute saga to make this happen. Now I know how women in outfits feel when they have to go to the bathroom and they have to take everything off.
Imagine how everybody in Glore feels.
I know. How much squeaking do I get here with these?
I'm hearing some squeaking.
Okay. Yeah, because this is sort of a foamy thing.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you had a nice time. That sounds very delightful. I went to some movies at the New Beverly on Friday.
Oh, what'd you see?
I saw a double feature. The New Beverly has returned for the month of February into the Eros Theater, which is what it was in the 60s and 70s. It was showing porn and erotic films. So they're showing all porn and erotic films this month. And the first film was Pretty Maids All in a Row.
Okay.
which I had seen a long time ago, but I hadn't seen in a minute. And Gene Roddenberry wrote it.
Yep.
And it's directed by Roger Vadim, who directed Barbarella. And it stars Rock Hudson, Roddy McDowall, Telly Savalas, and Angie Dickinson. And Rock Hudson plays a high school football coach / guidance counselor who can't stop fucking cheerleaders. And then the cheerleaders start dying. And so Telly Savalas is the cop who comes in to investigate it. And it is really something else. And it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's really odd because it's a real mishmash of tones in that it's one part satire, it's one part sort of murder mystery, it's one part sex coming of age comedy because Rock Hudson makes Angie Dickinson seduce a student to help him get over his sexual hangups. Sure. The kind of stuff that would make modern audiences extraordinarily upset.
Honestly, should have made audiences of the time a little upset as well.
I don't know, man. Angie Dickinson is like giving me a bath. I'm not
Rock Hudson just plowing his way through the cheerleaders.
Well, they can't stop throwing themselves at him. But what's really funny is that Rock Hudson, who has sex with like 6 different hot women in this movie, this is 71. It's like such an incredible, I swear to God, I'm not gay performance. Like it's really like overcompensating in a big way. Like just how, and all the scenes that he has, there's the kid who he has Angie Dickinson seduce, and he kind of has more sexual chemistry with that boy than he does with the girls. So, but I really enjoyed it. It's funny. It's very odd. It's very cynical. And then the next movie was a movie from 1974 Italian film. It's got 3 different titles depending on where you see it. It was advertised here as High School Girl. It also has the titles Kissing Cousins and Hot and Bothered. And it's about a family that lives in the rural countryside of Italy, and they live like in a castle. They're like high-level people. And their cousin from Rome is this hot girl who comes to spend the summer. And the son of the family gets the hots for her and like kind of spends the whole summer like spying on her and stuff. And everybody in the movie is a pervert. And including a whole bunch of little perverted Italian children who run around spending half the movie staring at this woman sunbathing naked. But like, it's the kind of movie where there's a subplot where the father of the family hires a peasant girl to come work for him just so he can watch her take a bath. And like, that's the whole subplot. Like that's it. It's just, they wanted to get a bath scene in the movie. And so that was, but it's actually very charming and it was funny. And I really enjoyed it. I really had a nice time. What's amazing though, is the new Bev is showing these erotic pictures and a bunch of guys show up solo to these movies.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting. I don't know that I would have the guts to do that.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know that I would have the guts to show up to High School Girl by myself. Right? Like, I just feel like, I don't know.
I think if I was going to go see a movie called High School Girl, one, I'm getting my ticket, I'm paying in cash. I don't want any paper trail. That's for sure. That is for sure. Everything's being done cash. There's going to be nothing to tie me to that place.
Right.
And that showing. Because that's going to come back and get you. That's my theory on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. But if they like, yeah, I don't know.
There's a surprising number of women at the screening. My friend, she always judges these screenings like the ratio of men and women based on how long the women's room line is. And the women's room line had some weight to it. Okay. So, yeah, it was pretty impressive. There are definitely nights you go to the New Bev and ladies just waltz right in and out of the restroom. It's just dudes. Dudes. Yeah. So, but I really enjoyed them. I'm going again at least one more time for this month of erotic pictures. I'm going to go see Deep Throat.
Okay.
And it's a double feature with a movie called Hot Summer in the City. I'm not going to tell anyone what it's about because I think it would upset people if I told people what it was about. But I believe it's one of the top 5 most evil movies ever made.
All right, there you go.
And I cannot believe they're showing it. They showed it there a million years ago when Tarantino did not own the New Bev and he was just doing his Tarantino Fest. Yeah. But today it's wild that they're showing this movie. And so I'm kind of psyched about that. And I might go, they're playing Flesh Gordon. Well, that might be tonight, and I might have missed it. But they did a trailer for Flesh Gordon. It was very exciting. But yeah, it's a pretty great month. Some really interesting films are playing. And I really gotta like applaud them for doing like a cool theme month this way, like returning to the theater's roots as a porno theater.
Yeah.
It's very brave, and
No, it's fun.
because Tarantino owns it, and he said that as long as he's alive, the doors will stay open at the New Beverly. It's
Yeah.
not like that big a deal if people don't come. Like it was a
Sure.
very empty show for a Friday night, like a very empty show.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, but it's like you know what, whatever. Like so, it's okay. Like he doesn't care. He wants to show what he wants to show.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll get into making AI movies with his buddy, and then he'll go that way.
I don't understand this whole shit with Avery. Roger Avery has like had. This is a crazy thing to say about a guy who killed someone, but Roger Avery has taken a real heel turn in the last 2 weeks because he's like on Joe Rogan going on and on and on about this Merlin show that Ben Shapiro's company made.
Okay.
And now he has an AI production company that has 3 features in the works. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what? Avery? Roger Avery killed a guy. He killed a guy in a drunk driving accident, and he did so a little bit of time. And he tweeted through it. And he tweeted this whole thing about like his experience in jail.
Okay.
Turns out he wasn't in jail. Turns out it was like home arrest the whole time. So all the shit he
I was
was
going to ask
tweeting-
how he could have. I thought you weren't allowed to have a phone.
Well, that was what was really like, how is he tweeting about this? And he would tweet about like his experiences in jail. And then it turns out it was all nonsense. But then the authorities got mad. We're like, you can't do this. Like this is not okay.
This is not a chance for you to tweet a bunch of stuff and then hopefully get like a movie deal out of it.
Yeah,
when
this is
all
not
done.
okay. Yeah. But yeah, no, he was tweeting all kinds of nonsense about his experience in jail and his cellmate and shit like that. So
His cellmate, which I guess was his wife,
yes, that's the way it turns out.
or maybe his daughter. I don't know if he was married at the time. I think
He was married. His wife was in the car when he killed the guy, I believe.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly. I'm trying to remember. I don't really fully remember. But yeah, I mean, like whatever. Like he did his time. He killed the guy. He did his time. Like, sure, like that's how it works. But at the same time, like the fucking Merlin show and the fucking AI. I don't know, man. Although I've been tempted to watch the Merlin show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious what these guys are doing. You know what I mean?
I have
like,
no interest at all.
it's
None
funny.
at all.
I would almost rather watch the Merlin show, which I'm not going to. So I have to buy their service to do that. Although I guess it probably is piratable somewhere. But like, I'm almost more interested in watching the Merlin show than like some of the movies that won Independent Spirit Awards tonight. Just because I'm like, you know what, the Independent Spirit Awards movies are probably fine, and I'll probably enjoy them. But the Merlin show, like getting like an idea of like what kind of weird shit these guys are trying to do, like in a Game of Thrones style, I'm like super fucking curious.
There's a couple of names in it, aren't there?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
The Pendragon Cycle, The Rise of Merlin.
Yeah, it's based on a series of novels. And their whole thing is they're like, it's traditional white culture. That's like that kind of the deal here.
Okay.
But, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
maybe not. I'm looking at the cast. I don't recognize anything.
yeah, I don't think it's any. They spent a ton of money. The guy, Jeremy Boring, who ran that company, had to like basically step down because he was spending so much time making his Merlin TV show that he couldn't do both. So, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Maybe that'll be our next series on Across the Omniverse, the
Nope.
Merlin show.
Nope. Not happening. Get yourself a different host.
Oh, man. All right, well, we got news this week.
We do. The Independent Spirit Awards were tonight. Train Dreams won Best Picture. I still haven't watched it. So,
Yeah, I'm like really putting it off, man.
it just looks like it's going to make me real bummed out.
I don't know if it's going to make me bummed out. I just feel like I've seen this kind of movie 100 times, and I have not heard a single thing that makes me believe that this is all that new a take on this kind of a movie, which will probably be very beautiful and lyrical and whatever, but like on some level, I'm just sort of like, I was hearing about somebody in the industry who has not seen Hamnet, and the person said, I'm all Shakespeare'd out. And this is a big person too. But I was like, I get it. Like, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like when you see a movie like that, like, the setting and like the
I get it.
tone,
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, like, I don't know, I've seen 100 of this. Like I kind of am maybe ready to skip this one.
Yeah.
So.
Also, nobody has told me if the Eel Song Railroad Man is in Train Dreams. And
I think it's set in the 30s, so I would guarantee it's not.
that doesn't matter. Knight's Tale was set in like medieval times, and they had Queen and Bowie. You
Well,
can
those
put
are
it in
traditional British folk songs. That's why.
there. All right. Well, Railroad Man's about guys working on the railroad.
So who won? What are our winners? Train Dreams?
Train Dreams. Best first feature went to Lurker. I don't know what that is.
I actually don't either, to tell you the truth. Very sad, embarrassing.
Directed by Alex Russell. I don't know.
The one award that I really cared about went to the wrong person.
Uh-oh, what was that?
The one that Fuck Toys was up for.
I don't know what that was.
Producers Award or something like that for like a breakthrough first feature. They get like a $25,000 grant or something like that. It's like listed the last on the Hollywood Reporter page. I really wanted Fuck Toys to win and they didn't, and it was really screwy. What else we got? We got, but a lot of the same movies won, right? Like it's not like a big
Long Walk
spread.
won the Robert Altman Award.
Yeah, for ensemble. I mean, I don't. It's a great ensemble. It's a great cast in that movie.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No.
It's really terrific. I really liked it a lot.
I saw Jason Momoa's show won an award.
Well, good for
I
him.
can't find it.
If I Had Legs, I'd
Adolescence.
Kick You. How Rose Byrne won for that.
Yeah.
Very good performance in that.
I still haven't watched that.
It's
it's
tougher
on
than.
HBO. I should watch it.
Yeah, it's a little bit tougher than I expected it to be.
Okay.
Like it's a little bit more intense. I mean, which is fine, but like I kind of thought it was going to be a little bit funnier, and I think it's because I saw that Conan O'Brien was in it, and I was like, okay, he's gonna be comic relief. I was like, he's gonna be comic.
Yeah, the
he's
last
not.
movie Conan O'Brien was in was Cabin Boy, so this is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, he's not comic relief. He's not.
Okay.
No. So, I mean, like it's a little comical. Like it's darkly comical, but it's like darkly comical. Like
Okay. Well, that
So,
sounds rough.
nothing that interesting one though, huh?
Nothing I can see. No.
All right, what else we got?
What else do we have?
I can't see, so I'm trusting you. I can't see with these sunglasses on.
Okay. Both James Vanderbeek and Bud Cort passed away this past week.
Vaxxed.
James Vanderbeek, perhaps not. From what I understand, his wife is an anti-vaxxer.
My understanding, he was vaxxed, is actually what I've been told. Yeah. Okay. His wife is an anti-vaxxer. She's a Maha. Bud Cort, very sad, but very old. Harold finally did it. Finally got himself dead, just as he always wanted. James Vanderbeek, terrific in Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23.
Yeah, and the Rules of Attraction, real good in that. Varsity Blues, real good in that.
I mean, I'm not like super wild about either of those pictures, but yeah, sure. I thought he was Don't Trust the Bee, I think is his best work, honestly. Like I like no joke, I honestly do. Very sad. He was young, colon cancer got him, right? Or prostate, colon or prostate, yeah, one of those.
Colon,
something in his butthole. Very sad, very sad. Men, you got to be looking out for that. Did you get checked?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I haven't.
You got to get checked.
Yeah.
You got to get checked. You got to put the thing in your butt.
I want it with the dog. Did you see the dog? Mm-hmm. Did they train a dog that can sniff it out?
Yeah, I don't think
like,
that's...
That sounds like a horrible time for that dog just going around sniffing everybody's butt.
What do you think dogs do, man?
I know, but they sniff each other's butts. Do they really sniff people's butts all day?
They sniff everybody's butt. They love smelling They love smelling a good asshole.
Yeah,
Nothing happier. I just fear that like you'd have to be pretty far along for the dog to smell it.
The thing I read was that it can pick it up earlier than some screenings.
No shit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know.
All right. So
there is a part of me that like I don't know if I'd want to find out that I have colon cancer because the dog sniffs my butt and then gets a treat, and I'd be like, "Fuck, he got a treat."
No, I'd feel good. I go, "Oh, he got a treat. Good boy."
Oh,
like, I would feel
good
good
boy.
about it. Good boy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Look who's a good guy. Look
what
who's
you
a good
did.
guy. Yeah, I like that. But very sad. Rest in power to both of these gentlemen. Very tragic.
Bud Cort in one of my favorite movies of all time, Electric Dreams. He's the voice of Edgar the computer.
Man, I love
recommend that movie.
You're the guy that when Bud Cort died says Electric Dreams. I love you.
I
love you, man.
I do. I love that movie, man.
I'm not even saying it's not good, but it's just funny. Like when Bud Cort dies, it's every person on Earth is like Harold and Maude, and Derek's like Electric Dreams.
Yeah,
I love it.
I like Harold and Maude. I think it's a good movie, but Electric Dreams is much more my style. Jack Thorne, the maker of Adolescence, he's making a Lord of the Flies series for Netflix.
He's made it. It already premiered on the BBC a month ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Netflix is buying it. It's going international sales. So Netflix has bought it for the America. So that means it probably will be on Netflix rather soon because it's a 4-episode series. It started February 8th in the UK. Oh. So I guess it's wrapping up in the next week or two. And so that means we'll probably get it on Netflix here pretty quickly.
Yeah. We got that. We got.
I'm excited to see the discourse about calling a fat kid piggy.
I'm interested to see because I mean, I imagine like most people, I read Lord of the Flies in like 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a great book. I've seen the 60s movie. And then there's one in like the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah,
I've seen that one too.
Yeah.
I don't remember either of them really standing out to me. So I'll be interested to see.
Yeah, could be curious. I mean, you know what? 4 episodes seems like a lot, but we'll see. Because it's not a big book.
It's not a long book. It's like 200 pages, right? It's it's a pretty short book.
It's a pretty short book, yeah. Yeah.
But maybe if it does well, they'll make the Chocolate War and give it the actual ending instead of like they did in the movie where they changed the ending for some reason.
But Piggy, poor Piggy. Tough time.
Poor Piggy.
Poor Piggy. I wonder if they're going to like do the Yellow Jackets thing and they're going to actually change it so that it's like more intense. Since Yellow Jackets is basically Lord of the Flies with girls in the woods.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll like have them be a little bit more intense.
It's pretty intense from what I remember in the book.
Yeah, I think he only killed the one kid though.
No, I think a couple of kids get killed. Doesn't Simon gets killed?
Did they kill a couple of kids? I thought they just killed the one kid.
No, Piggy gets the rock to the head.
Spoiler for a book that came out in the 1940s.
Before any of us were alive. Yes. Yeah. And then doesn't Simon get speared to death? Don't they stab Simon to death?
That could be. Could be.
He's like the last death, I think.
Don't remember, honestly. It's been a long time since I've read it. And everybody knows the Conch and Piggy. These are the two things that stick with you from Lord of the Flies. Conch and Piggy. Whenever anybody.
So much so that there's a joke about it in Send Help.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I've got the conch. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Like it really, I do wonder how much modern audiences get that. Not to be like one of these like kids today guys, but like, do they get that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea if Lord of the Flies is still required reading.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And then do the kids read it, which is a big part of Send Help. Is a whole sequence where kids are given a book to read. And one of them is like, oh, there's a movie from the 60s. It's too old. I won't watch it. And then another kid's like, oh, there's an audio book, but it sounds real boring. And the teacher's very sad that they won't read the book.
All right, what else we got for news?
Jason Statham is going to play Jason Statham in Jason Statham Stole My Bike by David Leitch. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Could not be less interested in this.
I like the title. That's about it.
I don't even like the title that much. Like,
no?
I don't know. I feel like the whole, like, there was a period of time where something like this felt really fun and wild. But, like, I don't know, like, people playing themselves in clearly fictionalized versions doesn't feel as fun and wild anymore. Like, I mean, to go back to James Van Der Beek, one of the reasons why that really worked is because James Van Der Beek was, like, a nobody when he showed back up for Don't Trust the Bee. And there's like something really delightful about that, like that, because the character he's playing is a version of James Van Der Beek who is super fucking egotistical and rich. Yep. And we have found out that he is not rich, but also that was funny even at the time.
We found out that he was quite rich.
But then we did find out that he actually did get much money. Yeah. So, but anyway, but like that's funny. But like Jason Statham is, I don't know, he's working too much and he's in big movies. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be that funny or like that self-aware per se. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe, I don't know, John Wick guy over here. So maybe it'll be good. Who knows?
I mean, the best of those will always be being John Malkovich. You're not going to beat that.
No, that's the thing. You're never going to beat that. And that's funny partially because John Malkovich is just a weird guy to do that with. He's
a weird guy to do it with, and the movie itself is such a weird concept.
Right.
That it's not even just him. They do it to all these different people, but John Malkovich is like the famous one they do it to.
But specifically, though, I think the Malkovich as a character in that movie, it's just such an odd guy to use for that. He's not like, Jason Statham is like, oh yeah, Jason Statham in like an action movie that's self-aware and whatever. But John Malkovich playing John Malkovich in a movie where a bunch of people fall into his head, like that's
including himself.
Including himself eventually, yeah. I mean, like that's something else, man. So
yeah. And then we got the trailer for Spider Noir. In color and in black and white, your choice on how you want to watch it.
How are we going to watch it for the show?
I mean, I'm going to watch it in black and white. I thought it looked good in black and white.
Yeah, same.
So, that's how I'm going to watch it. But we got a trailer for
that. You know what? The trailer looks okay. It's got a little Sin City vibe, honestly, which is not like ideal, but it has a little bit of that vibe, but it does have Nicolas Cage doing a great Nicolas Cage delivery on the line, "I'm plastered."
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, really a terrific Nicolas Cage delivery. So I'm kind of psyched
and
about
it
it.
also, from the trailer, I kept wondering, did he get new dentures, or is he trying to put on a like 40s detective voice? I'm not sure.
Hard to say.
Hard to say. So, but I thought it looked fun. I thought it looked enjoyable. So, that comes out in May, at the end of May. Which, there you go. Perfect.
We'll be covering that here on Across the Omniverse. That's 100% in our wheelhouse. So
That is.
we'll be covering that. Also, Barack Obama said there are aliens.
Yeah, and then he put out a thing saying what he meant is that the universe is so big there must be other life out there. That's kind of a bummer.
I know. And in his initial response about the aliens, he said that we don't have alien bodies and there's no underground base, and unless they're hiding it from him, which, by the way, is the argument that is made.
Yes.
That they are actually hiding it from the rest of the government.
Q clearance.
That there's like a black ops thing that got set up like in the 40s that just basically operates completely outside the government, out of any oversight. So nobody in the government knows about it. Very interesting thing I was hearing was, like, I was listening to some podcasts talking about this and why there seems to have been so little progress on some of these, like in this top secret world of like reverse engineering UFOs. And one of the things that somebody had the theory was that because they don't keep records and stuff like that, they're not writing shit down, that when somebody in that program retires and they bring somebody else in, that there's no transfer of institutional knowledge. So they just keep trying the same shit again and again. I think that was kind of an interesting take on some of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's no big archive to like sit down and be read into, like if it's so top secret that it's like just transmitted orally from person to person, that does explain a little bit, but it does feel like if we've had UFOs since the 40s, we should probably have gotten more stuff out of them by now.
Unless we've gotten a lot of stuff out of them.
I don't feel like we've gotten... Yeah, but like the description of UFOs and how they operate, even back to the 40s, it does not feel like we've gotten that shit.
Do you know what I mean? There's a theory I've heard that I like.
What's that?
About like why we don't have UFOs. Like, okay, if UFOs can travel the galaxy, come here and hang out, how come we don't have them now? If one crashed here, it's because they're powered by an element that is not available on Earth, and we don't have any of it.
I mean, maybe we're creating new elements, so I don't even know that I believe that. You know what I mean?
Like, maybe that's what the creation of new elements is them trying to create this element.
Could be. I guess it could be the case. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like shit like the Roswell saucer, like the skin of the Roswell saucer, like we don't have that. Like, and that was fucking 70 years ago.
It's aluminum foil.
No, but it's more than aluminum foil because you can't make a plane out of aluminum foil.
Have you tried?
I'm sure somebody has.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it crashed. They found out they also could not make a spaceship out of aluminum foil.
This was a bad idea. Yeah.
All right. That's it for the news this week?
That's all I got for news.
All right. What do we got for letters?
For letters, we got Ben says, "Hi, guys. Loving the pod. You may have seen the news, but it looks like one of Zoran Mondani's first orders of business was to literally do what Kingpin did in Daredevil Born Again and fix a road. If you were to become mayor, which supervillain would you immediately copy and why?"
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I read the question earlier and I still have been like spending like hours like tossing it around in my head because I'm not like 100% sure who I would do. You go first.
It's rough. That's really, really rough. I would imagine... I think what I would I would do, I feel like, is like the Penguin and just be like, all right, give me like my own Batmobile. And that's what I would do.
See, I feel like I would do like a Doctor Doom and I would like create a utopia in my city, but I would.
But this is the first thing you do. What do you immediately copy?
Yeah, I guess that's right. What do I immediately copy?
So it's not like, all right, I'm elected mayor and then turn it into
you know what
my own kingdom.
I would copy Bane in the Dark Knight Rises and I would
destroy the football field.
I would put all the rich people on trial and kill them.
Lock all the police in the sewer.
I would lock all the police in the sewer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would kill all the rich people. Is like what I would do, which is what I think people expected Mom Donnie to do. They thought he was going to do a Bane trial, and he did not do a Bane trial. But that is what I would do. I'm not running for office, so I can say that.
Yeah. I really enjoyed people complaining that it's cold in New York and it's his fault.
Incredible.
So I like that.
Incredible.
Yes.
Boy, that is something else. Boy, Mom Donnie, he's fucking up the weather.
He caused an extreme weather event across the entire eastern seaboard. Yeah,
Insane.
It's all his fault.
All right, what's our next one?
Dustin says, I've been following the Legend of Zelda movie and noticed that despite being months into filming, only the 2 leads have been announced as part of the cast. I followed the development of Dune and heard no casting rumors until each cast member was announced in the trades. I followed the movie news website since the 90s, and I have to ask what changed. Back then, there would have been rumors for weeks or months to chew on. Would they have been able to keep the casting of these movies secret in the heyday of Ain't It Cool News and Chud? Thanks for the content that helps me get through my second job. Not a fan of the word content.
Neither was Gus. He just cried about it.
There was Gus.
I think the answer is that most of the scoopers today are no good at their jobs. I think most of the scoopers today make up their scoops, frankly. And I think that they don't create relationships with people in the industry. I think that they get information from a couple of individuals within like the chain of command with certain franchises.
Sure.
But I don't think that they create relationships that are larger. The key to being a really good scooper is to create relationships in the agencies. That's where you want to start. Like you want to have people in the agencies because that means that you're seeing the scripts come across the desks, you're seeing the deal memos come across the desks, and that's where you're getting a lot of information. You're seeing lists that the filmmakers make who they want in a movie that's going out to agents. That's one thing. You want to get contacts in the studios themselves. You want to have a couple of maybe execs if you can get that high, but you want to have people that work on the lot who are working in the offices, who have things come across their desk and stuff like that. Like, there's one very successful scooper whose main source was a janitor.
Okay.
Because this guy was in the building after hours. And you probably couldn't do that today, but 30 years ago, 25 years ago, there was stuff on people's desks that he could look at. And so that was a big, now it's all going to be on computers, so you're not going to have the ability to look at it so easily. But that was a big thing. So like but like guys like back then, also guys in the copy room were good sources too.
Sure.
Like you get a lot of that. I think, but I think because these guys are such bullshit artists that they don't bother creating any kind of real relationship. The other problem is that the scoopers who do exist still and who are good at it, let's say like Jeff Snyder or Umberto Gonzalez, they're older, and so they're not as plugged into like video game stuff as much. Do you know what I mean?
Legend of Zelda though,
but like
it's not a new game.
I think often for some of these guys, a little bit of it's about passion. Like, what are you interested in? You find out. But also because both of those guys are working in a different way within the system. And so at this point, they're still getting, tips from people on the inside, but they're not publishing stuff as relentlessly as they were. And frankly, I'm using this word, I don't mean it really negatively, but recklessly, not really being as concerned about, like, you got the information, you're not going to triple check it. But when you're publishing for The Wrap, you do. And for Jeff Snyder, he does definitely say things that he's heard as rumors, but like he does also seem to try to actually get information. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I think that's part of it too. And there's just less people doing that. I think all these other scoopers too, by the way, don't live in town. That's the other piece. You got to live in town. You want to be a scooper, live here. It's just the number one way to do it. Like you gotta meet the people. That's the thing. You gotta be able to take a lunch with a guy. People don't want to say things on the phone. They don't want to put things in email. So yeah.
Oh, there you go. I got to give them a lot of credit because until this email, I didn't know they were making a Legend of Zelda movie.
Oh, really? They put pictures out and everything. This is why I may have to help with the news more often on this particular program.
You should probably just do the news.
I know. Yeah, but you're right though.
Yeah,
you're right.
You should. But yeah, there you go. And then Charles says the Transformers movie turns 30 this year. A Watchmen episode possibly? Wink, wink. No. So I figured I'd ask who your favorite robots in disguise are. I grew up on Beast Wars, so I'm biased towards Optimus as a gorilla and Megatron as a T-Rex. However, from the OG, Soundwave might be the coolest to me.
Soundwave is my guy. That was the one I was really
It's hard to
excited to
beat.
get. Yeah, I mean, I was really, and he has a
His
jaguar on his
voice.
chest. Yeah, his
Yeah,
voice
he's
is
got the
really cool.
tapes. Yeah.
Yeah, Soundwave was always my guy. Like, and I never fully understood why he never got like a cool movie version per se. I mean, was he in the movies? But he wasn't cool. None of those guys are cool.
None of them
I
look
would
cool
say
in
that
the
that's the
movies.
thing. None of those guys look cool. So
Yeah.
that's like a big piece of it. But no, Soundwave is the best one. I like Starscream a lot.
Starscream's a good time. Yeah.
Because Starscream is like, somebody was like, what if this robot was a total whiny bitch? Like, and I'm like, yeah, way into that. Really love that. Absolutely love that for him. So I never liked Optimus Prime. Megatron, I like.
I liked Rodimus Prime. Remember him?
Yeah, I never liked Rodimus. I don't like anybody with the name Prime. Rodimus Prime does sound like a porn star name, by the way.
He does, but I like Rodimus Prime because he took over after Optimus Prime died, and the whole thing with him was he was like, I don't want to do this. I was like, I get it, man. I don't want to do anything either.
I also don't want to be involved in Transformers.
Yeah.
But yeah, Starscream. I also liked Megatron because I always, even as a kid, I always liked the philosophical question of, does he shrink into a regular sized gun or is he an enormously gigantic gun? And I know the cartoon.
I mean, that is also part of the fun of Soundwave.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
Like everyone else in the Decepticons are like jets, and like he's like, I'll be a boombox, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, how is that going to help us?
How are we
Like,
going to sneak in a 10-foot tall boombox? This is nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't worry about it. How about that? It's
no,
cool.
I always really like that. I like the idea that Megatron, though, when he turned into a gun, was a giant gun. Like, I like the idea that he's like a fucking 30-foot tall gun.
Except that Starscream would use him as a gun and shoot.
No, I know,
people.
but I'm not talking about in the cartoons. I remember when I was a kid and I got the toys, and he would turn into the gun, and I would always be thinking to myself, like, okay, how does this work? Like,
Yeah.
I know they're supposed to be big because the other guys turn into trucks, you know, like, so they're supposed to be big. But yeah, but no, I mean, Soundwave. I hate having the same answer as the letter writer, but Soundwave is the best.
Soundwave's just the coolest. He's cool looking. He was the coolest toy because he came with other toys, right? Because he came with like the tapes. Mm-hmm. So then one was like a pterodactyl, one was a jaguar. I think there was a third.
I don't know if there was that many. I think it was just a jaguar in the original set. I think it was just the one tape. I think.
I remember there being a pterodactyl.
Was there a pterodactyl? Maybe that was like a later. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Who can say? Pterodactyl does feel like it does sound like a Dinobots era though to me. I don't know. Well, maybe it's just an eagle as opposed to
maybe.
We're really going to stop and look up what Soundwave came with. The problem is there's been so many iterations of this character.
I'm looking up original Soundwave.
All right, well, we'll see what you come up with. I'm kind of curious. I'll vamp for the audience while you do this Googling. It's going to be too much information to quickly go through. Is my guess here. But what do you? Because it's taking you. Yeah, it's too much information. Yeah, this.
Here we go. Claims to be original G1 1984 with Buzzsaw and Frenzy.
Oh, so Frenzy's the eagle. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Okay. I don't know. It just says Buzzsaw and Frenzy. I don't know which is which.
Yeah, I think Frenzy.
And two missiles.
Yeah. So okay, so you're right. There was two things in there.
I thought there were three. I said three. I thought there were three.
Well, yeah, but you started at two, and then you upped the
was.
ante to three for some reason. I don't know why. You always go under. Always go for the under. That's Price is Right rules. You want to get as close without going over. So, all right, let's stop looking this up.
This just shows a bird and a little dude. It doesn't show the panther, but I remember a panther.
Maybe it's just in the cartoon. All right, these are that was 3 letters, right?
That was 3.
Okay, where can people send their letters?
You can send them to ask.cinema.sanga@gmail.com. In the subject line, put what show you want it for, Omniverse or Bad Batch, and then 1 question per email, please. Thank you.
And if you're sending for the Bad Batch, please, no questions about Last Jedi. We're full.
Oh, nobody's been sending questions about Last Jedi for a long time. We're still just going through the ones we got.
We don't have to go through all those, by the way.
Well, you're the one that said we had to.
No, I know you said that. I said that we could stop, and you said, no, I want to go get through all these. So we can put them on hold for some time, I think. Because you said we weren't getting enough letters. So we needed to do Last Jedi, this is what you said.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to hear Last Jedi questions, I know you don't. I know people don't want to listen to them anymore. Send in other questions for us. All right. Are you ready to talk about the first episode of V, the original miniseries?
I am.
Let's do it. V, the original miniseries, episode 1. I think it's just called episode 1. I don't think there's a title for this, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So V, the original miniseries, created by Kenneth Johnson. Kenneth Johnson was a TV guy. Very interesting background. He got his start. He was doing like game shows and shit like that, and then he ended up writing, and he created the Bionic Woman. And then after that was a hit, he got asked to create the Incredible Hulk. And the thing about Kenneth Johnson is that Kenneth Johnson is a tremendous dork, but not in the modern way. So when he created the $6 Million Woman, it wasn't like about like he wasn't interested like in cyborgs and stuff. He was like, I'm creating a demigoddess for the modern era. I want to harken back to Greek myth. And then for the Incredible Hulk, when he got offered it, he didn't want to do it. He didn't get it. And then he realized that maybe what he saw in it was this could be like Les Miserables. With Javert chasing Jean Valjean, and
Is that
so
really
that
his thought process on that?
100%, yeah, that's
amazing.
That actually is, yeah. So which I think is incredible, like, but that's like his deal. So that extends, by the way, into V, because what happened is that he read the Sinclair Lewis novel "It Can't Happen Here." And that's a 1930s novel about fascism coming to the United States. And
sitting on my coffee table, waiting to be read.
did you buy that because of V?
No, I bought it. I mean, I've known for a very long time that V is based on it, but I didn't buy it because of V. I bought it just because I was like, this is one of those books everyone in theory should read, so I should read it. So, and,
yeah, he liked it.
It's been sitting on my coffee table for about a year and a half. So,
well, you're living it, so who needs to read it, right?
that's kind of the thought process.
Yeah. So he wanted to make he thought this would make a really good TV miniseries, and he wanted to do it, but all of the network guys were like, no, this is too political, like, because it's just like, it's all right-wing stuff. Like, it's like right-wing versus bad guys. And this was the Reagan years, right? This was the early Reagan years, and nobody ever...
Beginning of the Reagan years.
Yeah, it was the beginning, and people were kind of afraid to go there. And he brought it to NBC, and Brandon Tartikoff at NBC was like, hey, or it was actually Brandon Tartikoff's assistant, was like, hey, what if it was aliens? What if it's the exact same story, but it's aliens? And Kenneth Johnson was like, oh, that actually works. And so he created V.
They Twilight Zoned it.
Yeah, he actually stole it from a Twilight Zone. That's the thing, actually. There's a Twilight Zone. He stole it partially from... To Serve Man. That was a big influence on him, because that's like the big reveal, like in To Serve Man, is that they're here to eat us.
Yeah.
And that's the big reveal in V as well. But also in To Serve Man, they come and they pretend to be friends. Like, that's like a big piece of it, right? They like, oh, we're here to help you. We're going to help you with your science, and we're going to make your world better. But actually, I love the fact that their fucking main book is a cookbook, that they fucking show up with a goddamn cookbook. That's so fucking funny to me.
I always love in The Simpsons when they do it. It's To Serve Man. And he's like, wait, there's something on the cover. And he blows it away. It's like, To Serve Man, his favorite meal. And that always made me laugh.
There's another one underneath that, though, I believe.
Yeah, there's another one. Like, it keeps going. I can't remember.
Yeah, it keeps going. It keeps being reveals. It goes back and forth, I believe. So yeah, that was where Kenneth Johnson kind of came up with the idea, and Kenneth Johnson's like a real significant dork in that way. So his whole thing is like the classics, and he created V, the miniseries. It was a huge fucking hit, by the way. It was an enormous hit. I believe 60% of households in the major markets watched the first episode.
It was for quite a long time the biggest TV miniseries of all time. And then I think like the Thornbirds overtook it, or did it overtake the Thornbirds? It's one or the other, I think.
I can't remember when Thornbirds came out, but it was a really fucking big deal, and it was really huge, and people loved it, and it was. They decided to come back and do a sequel, V: The Final Battle. That was supposed to wrap the thing up, but Kenneth Johnson began fighting with NBC, and he left before they made V: The Final Battle. Part of the problem is that he only had a year to do V: The Final Battle. Like, they were like, okay, we love this, let's do another one immediately. And he had no ideas, and he was, so whatever. And then they did that was a big hit too, and then they did V: The Series, and that was terrible, and that was a disaster, and that killed the franchise. So anyway, so this brings us to V: The miniseries. It opens in El Salvador, and we got the Beastmaster himself, Mark Singer, as
Yep.
a TV journalist. I mean, what's his deal exactly?
He's a cameraman and a reporter, I guess.
It's weird, right?
Because I thought at first that Tony was the reporter.
He's a sound guy, I think.
He's something. I'm not sure.
He's a sound guy. He's got the headphones on.
Yeah. So I guess Mike is there to do both, but he's not an on-camera reporter.
Because he's like talking to the guy at the beginning. Like he's
like, so what are you gonna do? How are you gonna fight? And the guy, as they often said in El Salvador at that time, you got that, Jack?
They are at the famous Salvadorian area of Malibu State Creek Park.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's like...
Well, I'm sure if they panned over like 20 feet, you would see them filming an episode of The Hulk. Mm-hmm. And 20 feet from there is the A-Team. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The El Salvador was having a pretty big civil war for decades at this time. So this is actually like realistic, you know. Oscar Romero was killed right around the time. Oscar Romero was the Catholic archbishop who was killed by a death squad during Mass. So that's like very much like that happened in 1980 and the show came out like 83. So that was very much on the minds of the people at home. This cat's crying at the door again, man. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about him. Should I just kill him should I just feed him to Diana? Do you think they would eat a cat?
I think it would be too big.
What if it's like a kitten?
Maybe a kitten. Maybe.
Hold on, I'm going to let this cat out. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody at home.
He's going to let the cat in.
He's quiet all day.
Yeah. I remember being a child. V came out in 1983, so I was 6 years old when this came out, by the way, for everybody as I vamp. This is one of my earliest memories is this miniseries. I was discussing how I was 6 when this came
waxing
out.
Poetic about the old days?
I had a vamp, so I was saying I was 6 when this came out. And this like V is one of my earliest memories.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
And like, I know I was not allowed to stay up to watch it. I know I had to wait the next day and watch it. Like we recorded it on like VHS or whatever.
Yeah. I definitely recorded it on VHS because I knew I needed to watch it multiple times.
Yeah.
I did watch it live.
I did because I mean it would have been on. It was started like 8, would have ended at like 10. That would have been too late for me, right? I'm 6 years old. I was not allowed to stay up till 10 o'clock.
So Tony is his sidekick. He is, I'm guessing, supposed to be like Vietnamese. I don't know what Tony's deal is. He Filipino?
Later on, he's wearing a shirt about Hawaiian water and power. So,
but I don't know if that's just like
Hawaiian.
If that's just hipster shit.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like hipster shit was still existed then. Like that was a thing, you know.
Who plays him? That would help us know.
Well, that's actually a good question. That actually is a significant question that I did not look up the answer to. So that would tell us. But Tony has a bit where he's like, at least if you got killed in Cambodia, I could have passed as one of the locals.
Yeah.
They get there's an attack on the rebels while they are filming, and it's Evan C. Kim. Kim would be a South Korean name. So I don't know if Tony's supposed to be South Korean in the world of V or not.
Well, his name in the show is Tony Wah Chong Leonetti.
So they don't even know either.
Leonetti, what's going on there?
They don't know either. Okay, so that's fair. That's good. Nobody knows what the fuck Tony is. But they get the military comes in and opens fire. This is like a really great bit, and like honestly, like Kenny Johnson, like kudos to you. He wrote and directed it, and this helicopter comes to start fucking shit up, and Mike is still filming, and Tony's like, "No way, we gotta hide," but Mike will not stop filming. What are you gonna say?
This is just a fantastic opening. Like this is an exciting opening.
Yeah.
There's explosions going off everywhere. There's crazy stunts happening. Mm-hmm. There are moments where the helicopter is like, it seems like it's feet away from the actors, and it's the actors. And you're like, whoa, this is gonna be a Twilight Zone. Yeah,
John Landis was home getting ideas. But the
do
leader
it outside.
The leader, they did do it outside.
Oh, I thought the Twilight Zone one was inside, and that's part
No,
of what the problem was. Okay.
no, they did it outside. No, they kill people outside. Yeah. So the rebel leader is standing down. This fucking helicopter comes in and is shooting at him. And he just picks up a fucking sidearm, just a fucking pistol, and takes the helicopter out of the sky. And Mike is like psyched. But it's like very good in terms of like storytelling, creating this heroic resistance guy. The show, by the way, opens with dedicated to resistance fighters of the past, present, and future. Which different times that I've watched this show, I've had different takes on that, like over the years, and it has felt a little corny sometimes. However, in 2026, I was like, all right, nice, it's good. Yeah, good. Everybody in Minneapolis should be watching V because it's dedicated to them. But so our heroes get chased by this helicopter, and they're about to get fucking killed. They are done. They're done for.
The car stunt is wild when the car flips over.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good, and I like you can see the stuntman inside ducking down. I really enjoy that. I really, really enjoy that. So the our hero's about to get killed. Mike sort of like does his version of that El Salvador hero thing where the helicopter's aiming right at him and he's just pointing his camera instead of a gun at the helicopter. And the helicopter suddenly flies away, and it's because a giant fucking UFO has pulled up in the sky.
Awesome.
They didn't have the budget to do a model UFO, so it's the same UFO over every single city, and it's a matte painting.
But that's fine. Like, why would it be different kinds of UFOs? It's fine.
No, but I know, but like it's like funny because it's like it's not even like a model UFO. It's just a painting, and they move the painting like against the plane of the camera. It's like animation.
It looks great though. It looks fantastic.
I mean, it's a very cool thing, and quite obviously, you know, we talked about how the reptilian conspiracy was almost certainly influenced by V. Independence Day. The image of the giant UFOs over the cities. That's V.
Especially the shot of it over Manhattan. Yeah,
yeah. V did it first, and Independence Day did it really great. Like I'm not, it's terrific. But so turns out that they are appearing over all these different cities around the world. There's 50 of them, and we do. The way that miniseries used to work back then, and I wish they would kind of go back to this for like Netflix shows and shit like that, is that we would have this like very sprawling cast, and we would be introduced to them at the beginning in their own spaces, and then we would like kind of like bring the storylines together, and that's how this happens here, where we get to meet all the different people. We meet Juliet. She's a biochem student, and she is curing rats of lesions, I guess.
She's done something that's breakthrough, and as far as I remember, we never hear about it again, and I kind of like that it's like, well, this great scientific breakthrough has been stopped because aliens are here, and we got to deal with this problem. I like that.
Then we meet Elias. We meet Ben, who works with Juliet. Yeah. And then we meet Elias, who's Ben's brother. We're going to find that out later. He's Ben's brother. He's breaking into a house, and he's going to steal a TV, and he turns it on to test it.
Yeah, maybe not a great look for the show that all of the black characters are related.
A humongous number of these characters are related, frankly.
Yes, it is mainly families, but there's
and it's like multiple... a lot of them are shockingly Mike's family.
No, only the parents, his parents.
No, his son and his ex-wife, and his girlfriend is Christine.
Yeah, I guess he's got a lot of connections.
He's got a lot of connections. Like, it's a lot of connections. Like, it's usually this kind of character is very much a lone wolf, and they kind of do play him like that a little bit, but he is deeply tied in. And his mom, by the way, his mom and dad are like fucking hyper rich on top of everything else. It isn't just that his mom and dad are involved. They're hyper fucking rich.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of very interesting that he's like the privileged son whose girlfriend is a turncoat to humanity, and his ex-wife hates him, and his son is, obsessed with the visitors. So, everybody's really tightly connected when it pulls out. You begin to realize, everybody. And then, but I mean, a humongous number of the characters.
But the Bernsteins and the Waxmans or
Maxwell's,
they live in the same neighborhood, right?
They live next door to each other.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
So like that's the thing is like it is pretty tight all told. Like we see the one over LA, and that's where we see sort of some LA suburb with this family. So it's the Maxwells, and there is Robert, who's an anthropologist. We see him in the field excavating a skull.
Great shot
as a alien ship comes in, and
that
then
shot of the skull in the forefront with the ship coming is so. Oh, I love that shot.
Yeah, it's a really good shot. It's a really good shot. It's really gorgeous, and it's like full of like ominous thematic stuff, you know. And we meet the Bernsteins. They're a Jewish family, and the grandfather is scary German guy from Monster Squad, Leonardo Cimino.
Yeah, he's an Italian guy.
He's an Italian guy from New York City, by the way. He's born in Manhattan.
I like if you look at his IMDb, it calls him little old Italian man, which I thought was very funny.
Well, you know, we talked on the Love Boat about how so many of these actors of a certain generation like saw real shit in their lives and then ended up being like guest stars on TV shows.
Yeah.
Leonardo Cimino was at Normandy.
Was he really? Wow. I was watching something today where they what's it called, the special effects guy is reacting or whatever it's called on YouTube, and they were watching the good, the bad, and the ugly, the bridge explosion, and they're like, the crazy thing about this is it was guys who like just finished up World War II, and they were like, I found out I like to blow up stuff. What can I blow up and not get in trouble? And that's what all of the great explosives of film come out of, is guys who found out they like to blow things up because of war. Yeah.
I mean, you know, the thing is, the number one greatest guy in horror makeup history is Tom Savini, and he got all his shit from seeing people blown up in Vietnam. Like, that's where all of his stuff comes from. Yeah. So, I mean, on some level, I do think about how, I mean, we talk about this in the Love Boat episodes, like, we don't have actors or people who have life experience anymore.
No.
Not that I'm saying you should go to war, but like there's no life experience. And when you have a guy who fucking was, he was the second wave at Normandy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when that's like your deal. He came back to New York and went to dance school, by the way. That's kind of very interesting, isn't it? You invade Normandy, and then you go back to New York and you go to dance school.
Yeah.
I think he did a lot of Broadway too. He was like a very, very significant.
Yeah, you got guys like him. You got, what's his name from Star Trek? James Doohan, who lost a finger at Normandy, right?
Yeah. He's also, by the way, he's in Pretty Maids All in a Row.
Oh, was he? There
yeah, Gene Roddenberry threw him a little role. He didn't direct it, but he produced it, and I'm convinced he threw Jimmy doing a little role. The Bernstein family has it's like the grandfather Abraham, and then it's the mom and dad, and then it's their son. And their son is obviously, this is really funny. Again, this is a show I have revisited a number of times over the past 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And this is 40 years old, by the way, just in case anybody's wanted to feel really, if you watch this when it first came out, this is 40 years old. But like over time, I have had different feelings about this kid, including maybe when I watched it like 10 years ago. Well, no more than pre-Trump time, I was like, come on, this character is like a little fucking broad, isn't he? And in 2026, I'm like, no, this kid's not broad.
Nail on the head.
He's 100% totally correct.
Yeah. So it's hard to watch it now and be like, oh, if this was made today, Daniel would definitely be like an incel kid character. Like,
he already is.
I mean, he already is, but like he'd be online and he'd be like, you know, he'd be a school shooter. You know, he'd be a step away from that. And
yeah, like, I mean, so but he kind of is, but that's the thing, he is that. And like, what's really interesting is that is the kind of people that fascism really calls to, you know?
Yeah.
Because in the show, what's really interesting about Daniel is that he has that grievance thing where he like quits his job because they accuse him of having his register short. And I'm sure his register was short. Like, there's like no question in my mind, but he's like, how dare you accuse me of that? And like, that's just like, that's all these guys. Do you know what I mean? Well, they got told no one time, and it broke their brains.
It's that thing of, what's the saying? Like that it's good times create weak men. And the thought process is like, oh, and that's why things fall apart. But it's because these weak men feel the need to prove themselves. To be like, no, I am great, like my grandfather was. Yeah. And then they do stupid shit, and we all have to fucking deal with measles again. Yeah. You know? And that's what Daniel is.
My little Veep things are coming off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this one fell off my neck.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Boy, oh, boy. I guess that's what happens when you have a 10-year-old Halloween costume sitting in your closet all those years.
You have to glue it back on.
So here's the deal. David Packer plays Daniel, and this is his first major role. His character, Daniel's in love with next-door neighbor Robin, and the actor who's in the show was not the original actor cast for Robin.
No. No.
Dominique Dunn was cast for Robin. She is the older sister from Poltergeist, and she she's a nepo baby. But she was murdered. She was stalked and murdered by her ex-boyfriend. David Packer was in her house when this happened. They were running lines for the show, and he was in the house when the boyfriend came to the door. She told Packer, "Hey, I'm going to go deal with him." The boyfriend shot her to death in the front driveway, and David Packer was there. This was the first month of shooting. There is apparently footage of Dominique Dunn in the role that exists.
I've read different accounts.
Yeah,
I've read that she died in pre-production, and then I've read that she died like a week into film.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go look up the dates to make it specific.
Yeah,
I do know. And I can't imagine how this would be today in the social media age, but at the time, Packer got a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because it was like, why didn't you save her life? Why did you sit inside the house while this guy shot her? And I don't know what he would have done different necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really, but he apparently, Ken Johnson gave an interview a couple of years ago, and he said that the people in the show had accepted that he had been in a very significant tragedy and that it was really difficult for him. That makes me think he was a pain in the ass to work with, is my guess. That he probably was difficult to work with, the way that he said that. But I think that he's difficult to work with for reasons that make a lot of sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, he went through hell. That's really fucking bad.
Yeah.
And he never quite took off. He appeared in a couple of things, but he never really quite took off. And I liked him in stuff that I had seen him in, but I don't really fully know why he never did it. Who can say?
Hasn't worked in a decade, at least according to IMDb.
Very funny thing. If you go to the Wikipedia pages of many of these actors, like in the summary part, it'll say best known for their role in V, the original miniseries. Like this is the whole cast of the show. He's going to say best known.
A lot of them are. Yeah, it's really weird because. Yeah. And it's strange because a lot of them, like watching it, it's like they're not like David Packer's really good in this.
Yeah, he's really good.
I think.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the people in this are really, really good. And it's like, man, it's wild that like none of them got a TV series out of this. I guess they went to make the VTV series, and after that ended,
they did the original
miniseries.
They did the sequels miniseries immediately after, and then the show went, and the show tanked so bad it probably hurt a lot of them. But like a couple of them, I mean, Mark Singer was doing Beastmaster movies.
Yeah, Mark Singer is one of those ones where I'm always amazed he's not had like one of those weird like mini revivals where people would like put him in stuff because like I grew up watching Beastmaster and I'm going to put Mark Singer in my movie or in my show or whatever. But he doesn't do that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's actually kind of funny. I do always wonder. Yeah, but a lot of these guys did not have much else going on. I will say that a couple of these people, so Richard Lawson, who plays Ben, who is the brother of Elias, he's the doctor. So like that storyline is it's the black family, the black doctor and the black criminal, and like I like that Ben is like, stop with this fucking shuck and jive shit. Like you're full of shit. This is not who you are. But in real life, so he was in Poltergeist. He's one of the parapsychologists in Poltergeist. And then in real life, he was in a horrifying plane crash at LaGuardia that you might remember from 1992. This is a U.S. air flight that crashed during takeoff because of ice on the runway, and it fell into Jamaica Bay, and about half the people on it died. Yeah, he was on that flight.
He was on that? Wow.
Yep.
Holy crap.
He got married to Beyonce's mom in 2013.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I can't. I'm sorry. What is going on?
He married Beyonce's mom.
Wow, good for him.
Well, Beyonce's mom, Tina, had been like best friends with his sister. His sister died, so that's how he'd known her for a long time. Like he had known Beyonce's mom for a long time. Like before Beyonce, I think was Beyonce.
Before she took off, yeah. Before Destiny's Child.
I think even before Destiny's Child, yeah. Okay. But they were only married for 2 years.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They were not married for 2 years. They were married for almost 20 years. So I take that back.
A lot longer.
No, almost 10 years. My math. I'm so sorry. My math could not be worse. One really interesting thing about Richard Lawson, his first movie he was in Dirty Harry. And do you want to take a guess at the name of his character?
Uh, Not really. No, I don't, because I have a feeling it's going to be quite bad.
Homosexual.
There you go.
Carry roll. Homosexual.
Yeah.
He's in Scream, Blackula Scream, and he's in Sugar Hill, which I really like. Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill's really good. Sugar Hill's a blaxploitation voodoo movie. Very terrific picture, by the way.
He's in an episode of All in the Family. Do you want to know what his character was called in that?
Oh, what's that going to be?
Angry Black Man.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I'm guessing he got to yell at
Archie.
Archie. Which that'd be pretty awesome, I think, to yell at Archie Bunker.
So, but everybody loves Archie Bunker. That's the thing.
But on the show, it's fun to watch Archie get his comeuppance. That's part of the deal.
That is true.
You know?
That is true. So the UFOs show up and they kind of hang out overhead for a day. And nobody knows what's going on, and everybody starts freaking out. And the ER where Juliet works and Ben work is full of patients because people are having heart attacks and people are trying to kill themselves. I actually like the way that Johnson has thought through some of the impacts of this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's really interesting. And
I like also that he thought through that as time went on throughout the 24 hours of waiting for the ships to do something, the news would have to find ways to fill in time. Mm-hmm. So they brought in Ray Bradbury and Arthur C. Clarke to debate what this meant.
What's really funny is that this was like kind of before the 24-hour news cycle. The 24-hour news cycle, you know, when CNN really takes off, that really creates that world where you're just sitting in front of a camera just talking. And like at one point, like Juliet's boyfriend wakes up, it's like, where's Dan Rather? And she's like, oh, he lost his voice. And because he had been doing it for so long. And I think that's really interesting, sort of like how that they kind of got it. I mean, CNN had been founded in 1980. Yeah. So like it existed. 24-hour news existed, but it was really new.
It was very new. It was very new. And it was, at that point, networks were not doing it, you know.
Yeah, like, no. It was, I mean, there probably had been, I'm sure, at a couple, like I'm sure the JFK stuff probably was.
I wouldn't be surprised if JFK, even like after an hour, they were like, okay, we're going to go back to like regular programming because there's not much to say. Where today, they'll just stay with it for forever, you know.
General Franco Francisco is still dead. General Francisco Franco is still dead. That's the Saturday Night Live bit. Yeah. Anyway, boy, I fucked that up. You know what's the thing is, I'm like funny in real life, but like not always here on the mic. Sometimes I really blow it on the mic. It's not so. At home, you're like, this must be so easy. It's not. So
at
easy.
home, I got singers all day, and I'm saying everyone's name correctly when the camera's not on.
So eventually,
one thing I do love before we move on though is the Maxwell house. As we hit like just before the UFOs send out their message, we see their house, and again, it's been less than 24 hours, but it's been close. It's been at least 20 hours, I would say. Their living room is covered in Kentucky Fried Chicken bags and boxes. Like they've been sitting there doing nothing but eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and watching the news.
Well, here's the deal. So they're a 5-person family, and I do feel like, especially back in those days, you bought like enormous amounts of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like you kind of still do, but you buy like a 50-wing bucket like back then.
But
you know?
I don't know how much you put the boxes and bags around the TV as like framing the TV, unless Kentucky Fried Chicken is paying you to advertise for them.
Well, maybe it's the one of the daughters is bored and she's creating a little bit of. It's not Robin.
A little Art Deco.
Robin truly sucks in this first episode.
Robin is horrific. Polly is like one of my favorite characters of V, without a doubt, because everything that happens, she's like, maybe we should beat the shit out of these people.
Maybe we should kill these guys.
No matter what is happening, that is her answer to everything. And I also believe we'll get into it, but I believe that Polly is gay. That's my theory on her.
I mean, she's like a tomboy, so of course you say that.
But she's like 13, and at one point when Robin's like, look at him, he's such a fox, and she's like, he just looks like some dude to me. Like, I mean, yeah, she's but too old for that.
He's also an alien. Like, yes, I kind of like that bit because the show with the different characters does give us a wide variety of responses to this stuff. Yeah. So like Robin's like, oh my god, he's so dreamy, and Polly's like, he's from fucking Mars, dude. Like, I don't know. I think that kind
But
of.
that's not what she said. She just says he looks
No,
like
I know, but
another boy to me.
yeah, I know. I mean, you're probably right. I mean, there probably is some. I mean, no, actually, nobody cares about V enough to do a queer reclamation of Polly. But anyway, the aliens begin a countdown, and the countdown is being broadcast in every language around the world. And then they finally get on the speaker and they say, "Hey, we want the UN Secretary General to come meet us. We're here, come in peace." And meet us on top of the UN at 8 p.m. Yeah, that is what the dad says.
And Maxwell's dad.
Or the Bernsteins. The
Oh,
Maxwells
yes.
are the
the Maxwells. Yeah, the Bernsteins.
archaeologists.
See, they come in peace. See,
And Abraham, the Holocaust survivor, ain't so sure. Leonardo Cimino with his big old pointy ass head. He's like, I know an alien when I see one. I got a pointy head like this. This island Earth head I got going on here. Everybody gathers on top of the UN. Tony and Mike are there. They have drawn the pool card that they're going to get to be part of the pool that covers it. And it turns out that Mike's ex-girlfriend, Christine, who's a TV anchor, is there. And they just broke up recently or something. And Tony's really uncomfortable about it. But they get up and they start filming and the spaceship lands. And everybody's watching and they're all amazed. And the door opens. I don't fully understand why the visitors do this. They put out a message in Swedish, which is the Secretary General's language.
Yeah.
That says, "Don't be afraid, come up the ramp." I don't know why they don't come out first. It does seem super fucking weird. They kill him immediately?
Yes, that's my theory. He
definitely
goes in,
don't.
they kill him, and they have a replacement in there.
They definitely don't.
Why not?
Because they don't do replacements.
Yes, they do, because we see later with the other
No,
guys.
they don't. They do conversions.
Well, then they convert. I guess they can't do it that quickly, though.
That's the whole thing that Diana says, is that it's
Yeah.
like actually harder than the Supreme Leader believes.
Yeah.
It's a tension moment, is what it is. It's a moment for the audience at home to be like, ooh, what's going to happen?
I always thought that they messed with
No.
him.
And there's no reason they would kill him because, like, everybody buys their shit immediately. Like, that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, okay, great. And so he goes in there and comes back out and is like, hey, these people are actually pretty chill. Like, they got, like, a pretty nice setup in there. They got, like a
Maybe
mini
they
bar.
get him high. Maybe that's what they do.
Let me tell you, their fucking Arcturian weed is something else. Let me tell you.
Holy shit, guys.
He comes out. He's like, they're actually pretty chill. They're here in peace. But I think that you should hear this from their supreme leader, John. And John comes out. And so the aliens all have alien names, but they go by human names because the alien names will sound strange to us. And John is Richard Hurd, who many of people watching this program might best know him as George Costanza's boss.
Yes.
But I met him. I met Richard Hurd at Monsterpalooza one year, and I got him to sign an autograph.
Oh yeah.
For me, yeah. I only got a few autographs in my life, and I paid for. Yeah. And Richard Hurd was one of them. Rip Taylor's one. Richard Hurd. What's her name from Star Trek? Janice. Oh my God, this is the worst fucking
Janice
podcast.
Rand?
Yes, this is the worst fucking podcast on the air because we're both of us going, oh, what's his name on what's the show? That's endless amounts of this on this program, and I got the dude who played the original Godzilla to sign one, but that's about it. I don't really do a lot of that. I don't pay that money for those autographs at the conventions.
I have a question for you.
What?
Do you think the Buckaroo Banzai John joke is a V reference?
No.
No?
No. I think it's coming from the same thing, but I don't think it's a V reference.
Yeah. Okay.
But John comes out and he's like, hey, do you guys mind if I put on my super cool shades because your lights are a little bit bright for me? And he says, hey, we come in peace. Our planet's undergoing a terrible environmental problem, and the chemicals and stuff that we need we can only find here on Earth. He's like, you're the first time we've left our star system. You're the first intelligent species we've ever met, and we really need your help. And we know that if you were having the same problems and came to us, we would help you. And he's like, in exchange, we can give you all of our science and our medicine and everything. And, there's like, so this bit's like where the father of the Maxwell family, Robert, is watching. He's an anthropologist. Like, holy shit, they got fucking 4 fingers and a thumb. Like, must have exact parallel evolution to us. And there's a bunch of that stuff. It's kind of interesting. The show spends a lot of time pointing out the fact that it's like, would be amazing if aliens looked like us.
Yeah.
The show spends no time pointing out that it's amazing that an alien latex mask can cover those ridges on their heads.
I mean, there's a couple of things with that. Yeah, that pop up like that. And then at one point, when Mike is sneaking around inside the mothership and there's like one of the aliens just laying in bed reading a book. And I'm like, I think you would take off your human suit because it'd be very uncomfortable.
Maybe she knows that she's got another shift that she's got to get to.
She's wearing a nightie.
And maybe she just, I don't know. That's interesting. I do notice that they're talking in English on the ship the whole time, which does sort of feel like a thing they probably wouldn't be doing.
That, I think this is my theory on that. I don't think they're talking English. I think they're using the universal translator.
Is that why it sounds like
their
that?
Skin suit. Yeah, that's why I think it sounds like that. That's my theory on that. And that's also why they can speak because
Willie can't speak English very well.
Willie can't speak English well because
he learned Arabic. Yeah.
So maybe like it's one of their things. Like, look, just always just be speaking whatever language you're supposed to be speaking for the Earthlings. That way you stay in that zone.
It's a species of Daniel Day-Lewis's.
Yes,
they're always in character.
Yes,
they're constantly in character.
They're always in character. There you go.
Maybe they keep their skin suits on all the time. The only reason why we see that guy's face is because Mike rips his face off.
But we see that guy taking out his contacts.
But taking out contacts is one thing. Taking off your face is another. You know what I mean?
That's true. Who knows how difficult it is to get that stuff on and whatnot.
I think it might be difficult because Willie's boss does not seem fucking happy that he's fucked up his face.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
But I think like, oh, this is a real hassle to put this shit back on your face, bro. Like this is a real fucking hassle. Anyway, it's 1983, so nobody was thinking about it that much.
He's like, you look like a guy who's going to haunt people in their dreams now with that face.
Robert Englund has said that this was what got him Nightmare on Elm Street.
Really?
Yeah, he had been like bumming around doing character work, but Willie was a pretty big hit, and it kind of got him in the door a lot of auditions that he wasn't getting otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was not originally cast in that role either, so.
Yeah.
David Warner.
Mike's son is very disappointed in John. He says he's no E.T. He doesn't look like Mr. Spock. Very disappointed. Yes. And so John gives his whole speech. He's like, we've been sending unmanned drones here. So, like, actually, it turns out that you have, in fact, been seeing UFOs. It's been us. And I know that if you came to my planet, I would really want to know what your spaceship looks like. So why don't you come on along and we'll let some of you people go up on the spaceship. And so everybody gets on the spaceship. And I really love this, which is they go up in the spaceship and the guy in the news is like, the spaceship kind of sucks. Like, wow, they came all this way and really kind of one of the suckier spaceships we've ever seen, frankly.
Kind of lame.
Like not that interesting, honestly. We kind of were hoping for. He goes, if you're expecting Darth Vader's futuristic Star Destroyer, it's like not really. So they go.
We
up
don't have the budget for that.
We see. Well, no, I think actually they.
No, it's on purpose.
Yeah, it's on purpose. Like I think one of the things that they're doing is they're not making it so crazy looking that it becomes totally relatable. You know what I mean? Like they don't want it to be so nuts.
Yeah,
I think is part of it.
I think also like of what we see, it's like it's a hangar. Like what
it's a hangar,
like?
Yeah. I mean, quite frankly, like even on a Star Destroyer, the hangars look like hangars. They just have weird ships in them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So we then see the video.
I do want to say two things I greatly enjoy throughout the sequence of everyone watching on TV as all this is happening. One, the Bernsteins have the classic crystal ashtray that every home had in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you smoked, you had to have that ashtray. Mm-hmm. And two, I like that the 4-year-old girl wants a soda and it's like 5:00 at night and the mom's like, yeah, all right, I'll give you a Coke. And that feels very 80s to me. I don't think that happens anymore.
That's America, baby. So we then cut to Mike and Christine. They're at Christine's house and they're celebrating. She calls it the scoop of the century. I honestly feel like this is the scoop of mankind. This is like probably one of the biggest news stories in the history of the earth. Like
I kind of wanted Mike to be like, well, it's not a scoop because every station got it.
But they got it through them. They got it through them. They were the pool. There's a limited. So they had the TV pool. There was a newspaper pool and the radio pool.
Yes.
And so that's how a pool works: is one reporter for each thing goes up and shares it to everybody. So they did get the scoop. They were the first human beings to be on a spaceship.
That's true. Which is
pretty big deal.
And that shot too, by the way, when the transport ship takes off and they show it going into the mothership.
Yeah.
And you can see like Manhattan below them is such a great way to give a sense of scale of like how huge all this stuff is. It's so cool. I love it. So Christine tells him that actually she
played the system. She made sure that they got on the pool.
Yeah.
And we watched the tape that they shot, and it turns out that Mike shot a lot of footage of Diana, who's the second in command, and Jane Badler. Jane Badler. Sometimes I think back on like the kinds of women I like, and I would say that Diana is strongly like a mean brunette. Like that's really incredibly.
An amazing number of Gen X and men and women came into sexuality through Diana. Like, oh, look at that. That's it. That's mine. That's what I like. Without a doubt.
My thing is like ever since then I've been really into broads that swallow gerbils. That's always been like kind of my thing.
Throat coats, if you will.
Yeah, throat coat. She's the ultimate throat coat, truly. So we see them getting a tour on the ship. Diana's talking about how she's in charge of the science stuff. And so there's like as Mike and Christine start like reconnecting and making out, there's a really great shot where like fucking
Diana's watching.
Like this is what they show on television. It's just Diana staring evilly into the camera, like crazy. Yeah. So Mike's stepfather runs a chemical plant, I guess. I don't really know.
Because later on, his wife, Mike's mom, says, if this goes well, they'll make you a senior VP. So he doesn't run it.
He might run that plant. He might not run the company.
Yeah, I guess he might run that.
Do you know what I mean? Like the company that owns the plant. Because what it is, the visitors say they need a bunch of plants to do their chemical shit. And so Mike's mom, who's a real social climber, had said to her husband, like, I hope they use your plant. So they do. And a visitor shuttle lands. It's like a big ceremony. It's been a couple of weeks since the visitors showed up. We're kind of jumping ahead a little bit in the show. And I really like that the high school band is playing the Star Wars title and they're fucking suck at it. Like, I think that's such a delightful thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think that they do a really good job, by the way, because the original title does have the Imperial March woven into it. They edit the thing in such a way that when the Imperial March comes up, it works with who's on screen. Yeah. But it also doesn't feel like they're landing and the high school kids are just playing the Imperial March. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it works. And the thing is, like, fucking a million. It's like a clown car. This fucking shuttle.
Great. It is. But there is a very. It's funny because we've discussed this before of like how Netflix has a thing of like, hey, you got to have characters constantly repeat things because the audience will be looking at their phone. This show does that as well for 1983.
That's what TV does. That's classic TV. Classic TV. The premise is that your audience is in a living room together, but mom maybe is in the kitchen. Maybe dad gets up to get a beer. You're never expecting full attention. Only movies ever expected full attention.
Yeah. But it's just funny because they're like, they show the visitors coming out of their ship and it cuts to like one guy and he's like, wow, that's a lot of them. And then it shows them coming out of the ship, cuts to somebody else. That's a lot of them. It's like, yeah.
It also feels like Kenneth Johnson was like dedicated to playing the entire Star Wars theme. It's like feels like part of the reason why they
we're using all of it.
Yeah, we're using the whole fucking thing because every character has a moment they go, how many of these guys are there? And then a second fucking ship lands.
Second ship comes.
Yeah. And so Robin, we see, is playing in the band, and she sees Brian, a hunky visitor, get off, and she immediately falls in love with him.
Yeah.
We meet Ben and Elias's dad, and he has a great line. He's upset about these guys coming, and his buddy's like, what's the deal? He goes, first we had to fight you honkies for these jobs, then we had to fight the Mexicans, and now these assholes are not even from planet Earth. I really like that a lot. I just like, he didn't say assholes because
I was gonna say I don't think he said assholes. Yeah,
but I really enjoyed that, like as like a line and like a sort of as a bit that he does. I thought that was very delightful. That's Jason Bernard, by the way, and he was in a million fucking things.
He's everywhere. Yeah,
but most famously, everybody's most beloved television program, Herman's Head. I would say that's probably his best known work, Herman's Head. Remember Herman's Head?
I do. I remember the show very well. Yeah.
This is one of those ones where I know we have like millennials and younger, a couple of them in the audience. And I love the idea that like they are finding out right now live that there was a sitcom on Fox when it first started that was a guy who had, the premise is that he has a bunch of people living in his head. It's Inside Out, the sitcom, basically.
Yeah.
And it is really
It's Inside Out. If the entire thing of Inside Out was everything in her head being like, we have to get laid, because that's what Herman's head was. Yeah.
he has the characters Angel, Animal, Wimp, Genius, and Jealousy. Bobcat Goldthwait only appears once though. Yeah, so they live in an attic is the deal.
Yep. I mean, back then we had that. We had Dream On, which today would be Meme, the TV show.
Yep, because it's just a guy. It's just constantly his thought process is represented by old movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
And a nonstop stream of naked ladies in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah, the 80s were a time when Brian Benben could get all the ladies.
Constantly. Like, yeah. So anyway, so the visitors show up and they come to the chemical plant. This is happening all over the place. This is happening at every place where there's a mothership.
50 places, 50 spots. Yeah.
Although there's more than just that, because you know what? Later on, when Mike's on the ship and he's sneaking around, they say there's a shuttle coming from Los Angeles. There's a shuttle coming from San Bernardino. So I think that they're actually...
No, there's more plants, but there's 50 motherships.
Right.
Is what they say. So, but there's probably like set up so they can hit like the major areas. So there's like one over California, over Los Angeles, but the transport ships go throughout all California and probably... Nevada as well, I would think. And then there's probably one over Texas, I would think, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
One in like the Midwest, one in New York.
Yeah. Well, there's 12 over America, they say. So they actually give a list of them. To tell you the truth.
Okay.
So we meet William, Robert Englund's character, and he's a real dumb visitor. Turns out, because he learned Arabic, because he's supposed to go to the Middle East, but he ended up in L.A. And he's trying to find where he's going. He is just. And first he runs into Caleb, which is the father of Ben and Elias, and Caleb's a real piece of shit to him. Calls him a stupid alien. And then he meets Harmony, who's like the lunch lady there, and she thinks he's cute, and she helps him out. She figures out that he means lost, not just. And she takes him to meet the people. He's working in the cryogenics area.
Yes.
And... then later on, it turns out there's a big accident in the cryogenics area, and there's an explosion. And this was like, so while I say that Diana was like fundamental to me in terms of what kind of women I like, the guy coming out of the cryogenics area with a frozen arm and then smashing it, shatters it. That was like fundamental to me as like a person in general. Like I thought that was the best fucking thing I had ever seen in my life.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
So, but Caleb is still in there, and nobody can go in there because it's negative 300 degrees.
It's a great moment, though, because the guy stops Willie's boss, who, like, when he's like, Willie went in there, and the boss is like, what, Willie? And he starts walking. The guy grabs him and goes, it's 300 degrees below zero down there. No human being could. And he stops, and the dude just stares back at him, and it's like, oh, that's great. Like, there's nothing said. It's just a great moment.
I like this guy's an asshole. This visitor, like,
yes,
like their whole deal is supposed to be like they're friendly or whatever, but I like that these are just people that work there, like, you know what I mean? Like, so like this guy's just a dick, and he's a dick all the time. Willie's boss, like, he's always a dick.
He yells at Willie earlier. Yeah,
I really like that. I like that a lot, because it would be very easy for everybody to be doing the visitor shtick, but he's a dick. Willie does rescue Caleb. Willie, we know he's a lizard. I don't necessarily believe that a lizard could survive negative 300 degrees, but he's an alien.
I don't know
lizard.
How Caleb survived.
No, Caleb should be 100% dead. There's no version of this.
Caleb is back at work the next day.
Yeah, I fundamentally don't understand that.
Yeah.
So he later on has to apologize to Willie and be like, hey, I was wrong about that.
We did miss the first scientist kill.
Oh yeah, well we had So in the background, scientists start getting killed and disappeared.
Yeah.
So the scientist thing. So there's going to be a storyline here that like the visitors create this idea there's a scientist conspiracy against them, and that the scientists wanted to capture a mothership. And again, another thing that over the years, my different revisits of the show I've had different feelings about it. And because scientist is so broad, it's so broad.
I mean, there's one point later on where Robin's father being anthropologist, they're like, oh no. And it's like, come on, really?
No, I actually believe that. I kind of get, like, because an anthropologist would be somebody who you might want, who might have insight into like the visitors. remember
I
they're
guess.
hiding who they are, right?
Yes.
So like, but
But
it's
I'm
so
saying from like the
broad.
humans are like, oh, that family's gonna be in trouble because he's
But I
an
do
animal.
wonder if that actually was like, I'm trying to remember, like, wasn't one of the, like, his boss is one of the first ones that go, is the first one that
This guy
goes.
is the first with the pipe. Yeah,
But
he's got a pipe. He goes in his car.
he gets accused of being one of the heads of the conspiracy. So I wonder if the premise
No,
is
no,
that,
no. That's Julie's boss.
but isn't that, don't they list all of them that disappeared?
Maybe they list this guy later. I don't remember. I don't know.
So I just wonder if anthropologists are like sort of like on the hit list. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just very funny the way they do it. They like, it's like the visitors like didn't figure out to buy like, I don't know, human clothes. So there's just a visitor in full uniform sitting in the backseat of this guy's car and blows him away. Like, I don't know, man. Like, what if somebody?
I love it.
I do too. Don't get me wrong. I like when Robert goes to the car because the guy doesn't show up for work and the car's in the parking lot and he opens the door and the shot in a way like you expect a body to come rolling out because that's what that shot is. But there's just a blast mark on the door and I like that he rubs it and smells it and I really want him to taste it. I really want him to taste it. And like, oh, it tastes like pork.
He's like, He just starts licking the door.
Oh boy, real fatty. I like
Yummy,
it.
yummy.
So more time passes. The visitors form the Visitor Friends, which is their Hitler Youth. And the idea is that 12 to 20-year-olds can join and get to know more about the visitors and go visit the ship. And Daniel, who is just dying to be a fucking fascist, is like, yes.
He cannot wait to join. He is so excited.
Cannot wait. He's very excited about it.
Abraham, not a fan of him joining.
No, doesn't love it all.
Abraham's friend is like, it's fine. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. He's like,
don't worry. It's cool. Donovan goes to see his son. Mike Donovan goes to see his son, and he's hanging out with his buddy Josh. Josh has all the toys of the visitors,
yes.
and
So we know it must be months at this point.
yeah, I mean,
There's no way the toys come out.
also the visitor
quickly,
friends and
right?
shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
no, the toys could come out fairly quickly. Frankly, I mean, like Mike makes that joke. I wonder if they get royalties. I think that the real answer here is that these are just knockoff toys that they're selling to kids. Because although maybe the visitors
They're
understand,
definitely knockoff toys.
are they necessary? They're definitely well, the visitors
I guess
understand
maybe
that.
not. I don't know.
Like that's like a part of like their whole propaganda thing.
Yeah, because the kid is like, look, he's got John and Diana, right?
Yeah, he got John and Diana, and he has the shuttle, and he has a mothership at home, which I'm assuming is the V-Toys version of the USS Flag,
Yes,
because the shuttle's pretty
got a
big.
huge. Yeah, because
Yeah,
we
the
see
shuttle-
the transport ship that he's got is pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the thing is really interesting is that the toys, the Nazis did this.
yes,
The Nazis, they did not create the game Judenraus, but it's a board game, and it's an insanely fucking anti-Semitic board game. And the premise is that you are rounding up Jews and kicking them out of the city. And it's like insane. The Nazis loved it. They did not actually make it, and there's no Nazi symbols on the game, but they fucking absolutely dug it. And I've seen the Judenraus board game and in person, and it's like really weird to see it. Like I went to the Holocaust Museum Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, and I saw it, and it's like to see a picture of it on the internet is like one thing, but to see the actual game,
yeah,
it's like it's very real and very weird, and you can imagine somebody sitting at a table playing it. Like
Yeah.
when you see it like that, it's like very strange. But like so, like using children's stuff as propaganda. I mean, you know, Cash
They
Patel.
had Heidi, right? The Nazi girl comic and stuff. They did.
I think that was wasn't that an anti-Nazi?
No, I believe that was a Nazi.
You're thinking of Hansi. You're thinking of Hansi.
Maybe. Am I?
No, yeah, it's the girl who loved the swastika that came out in 1973. That is not.
I thought there was a Nazi comic as well, though. Back in like.
I mean, I'm sure there were Nazi comics. I mean, I would not be surprised. But I think you're thinking because the picture, not Hansi, the
I thought
image.
Hansi was goofing on.
No, it's not
the
good.
actual-
It's no. I believe that it's like a I mean, I don't know. I never actually read Hansi. It's a very famous cover because it's like a girl with pigtails in front of like a bunch of Nazis with like a bunch of swastika flags and shit like that. Basically loosed on the book of the same name about the true story of Marita Hirschman, a Czechoslovakian girl who became a Nazi during World War II, got forced into a Russian labor camp, and eventually found a way to America and the Christian faith. So it's about like somebody who was a Nazi and then stopped being a Nazi. So it's not a parody. Right?
It's a funny way to sell it, where the story is that she comes to America and becomes a Christian, is to start with like, this girl loved Nazis.
But that's a very standard way of doing a conversion story. It's like somebody who's like about a hooker who becomes a Christian. Like you always lead with the fact that she's a hooker or a drug addict or something like that. That's always how the way that it plays.
That's true.
Because that's how you get people interested. Oh, here's a bad person. Like, let me show you a bad person. And then you say, this is how they became a good person. So the Visitor Friends created, they had the toys, and Mike has a big argument with his
wife, Joanna Kearns.
His wife, who is like really upset with him because he's flying around with spaceships. He gives Sean a visitor key.
He does one of my favorite moves where he's sitting behind who drives him, whatever that guy's name is. He's in the transport ship. And he finds the key, Steven, and he finds the key, and he like holds it up so the camera can see it, and then goes, whah! It does like a magic turn, whah! To hide it into his sleeve. I was like, man, fucking... That's cool, man.
So he gives it to his son, and him and the wife have an argument. The wife's like, how can I compete with you when you're flying around spaceships? And he's like, why are we competing? And I mean, the vibe I get here is like, maybe because you're not paying alimony. Like, I get a sense that he's a deadbeat dad a little bit. Like,
she says earlier when they see him on TV, she says, I wonder if this means I'll get a bump in alimony, right?
Yeah.
In child support or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then when he's talking to his son says, I asked mom if I could get the toys, but she said, we don't have the money.
Right.
Can you talk to her? And Mark Singer's got a look of like, oh, there's going to be a problem. She's going to want more money from me to take care of my child.
Real 80s deadbeat dad as the hero vibe. Like, really is that.
Real Halloween 3 feel to it.
So Christine gets a job offer from Diana. This scene I like very much because Diana is 100% trying to seduce her.
Yeah.
And she's like touching her, feeling her, and it's like, I feel so comfortable with you, Christine. And so does John. And we want you to be our spokesperson. And Mike is like, what are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's nuts. Like, you can't work for her. You won't be objective anymore. And she's like, I don't know, man, this is great. Like, I'll be on the inside. I'll be able to get all the information. I'll write a book. And he's like, I don't know, man. Yeah. I just don't buy it. So
do we miss the party? Where the Maxwell discussed going to the party and the guy freaking out the birds? I like that bit.
I'm trying to think, maybe.
Because I think that's right after they do the arrival at the factory, but I'm not sure.
Is it right after that?
I think don't
yeah,
have
it might be. I don't know. I don't remember.
I know it's before the
we'll
science
talk about it. You want to talk about it, so talk about it.
It's a great scene where there's a party. Mike's parents throw a party for the visitors, and the Maxwells are invited to the party, and we see everything post party. So we're seeing flashes of the party and the husband and wife discussing it. And I like yours, like, oh, did you notice this about his hand was cold? Oh, the voice is very strange. And he didn't eat anything that was cooked. He only ate a couple of uncooked vegetables. And then he's like, but did you notice when he walked by the bird cage, the bird started freaking out? And it shows like the bird's freaking out as he walks by. I just love that bit. It's a good ominous bit. It's fun.
Well, when the ships first come, we see birds and mice. The mice in the lab freak out.
Yes.
Like the mice immediately, like, oh no, predators have entered Earth's atmosphere.
Yep. They got amazing sense for that. Yeah.
So the scientist stuff, though, I was saying before, like, it felt really broad to me at certain points, and it still feels a little broad to me because it's such a huge group. Like, it includes doctors fundamentally.
It is all scientists, like anyone with like a science degree of any kind.
But like at different times in my life, it has been like, but now I feel better about it because I think that is where we actually kind of are.
Yeah.
All scientists are bad, and science is not real. Like, that's like a very much the space that we're in.
I mean, they show the congressman who's like, they've been hiding cures.
Well, yeah, I'm going to get to that. But like, we had this week, Donald Trump rescinded the finding that we're endangered by climate change. And like, that's just like, that's not even like, that's just, he's just denying science straight up. That's just denying science. And so, but also the idea that like, scientists have been withholding cancer cures and stuff. This is actually very common on the right wing. They believe that we have med beds, which the rich have, where you can get into the bed. It's basically a Star Trek device where you get into the bed and it just heals you. And they believe it's being held from us. And in fact, Donald Trump last year retweeted a tweet
Think about it.
saying that he was going to release them, which is nuts. Whenever anybody's like, oh, he's doing this to draw attention here, I'm like, no, he's an idiot. Like, he's an idiot.
It's amazing. I watched the other day a video where they were discussing Trump's Truth Social posts.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's funny because like whenever they come up online, like on other places, it's always about his political posts, but that's not all he's posting. And they went through a day of his stuff. Yeah. He's posting like dog videos and like people slipping and falling and like just the funny memes videos that everyone else does. And then all of a sudden, like, and also we have med beds and I'm going to release those. And it's like, no, he's just grandpa. He's just a grandpa who's online too much.
Yep.
And is like also like real big into the videos where it's like, look, you won't believe how this ends. Watch till the end. And he falls for it every time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's an idiot. He's a legitimate fucking idiot. So, where were we? So the scientists, what turns out that there has been some big scientist confesses that he was approached by a scientist conspiracy, and that the scientists claim they wanted to help humanity, but really he knows what they want is they want to rule the world, and they were going to take over motherships, and that some of them have gone. If you've noticed scientists disappearing, it's because they've gone underground because they're running this evil conspiracy. One of my problems with the show is that nothing has a name, and that doesn't feel real to me.
Yes, yeah, there would be a name for this. There would be
right. They would they would come up with the name. You know what I mean? Like we see that now. Like Antifa just becomes the name, and they just use it, even though there's no such thing as it. I think they always would. They would always have a name, or either they would have a name, or the media would come up with a name.
Yeah, I guess they would.
There's just no planet where that doesn't happen.
No.
And we kind of keep skipping ahead a bunch, and things get real fucking harsh, really hard.
Oh, we see that Juliet's Wall Street boyfriend is losing business because she's a scientist.
Yeah, so that's the thing. As we're skipping ahead, we're seeing that scientists are really being ostracized. People don't want to associate with scientists. And this also feels like it could be phony, but I think that it's really important to remember, one, this is how it happened with Jews in Germany, but also that's what's happening now with trans people. That's what's happening now with people who hold certain political opinions or say certain things about Charlie Kirk or whatever. This is not... It happens this fast. It is happening this fast. When somebody looked at anti-trans articles in the media, and they're all from the last 8 to 10 years, and it went from 60 a year to 6,000 a year.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's crazy. It's insanity. It's insane. It's just targeting, a specific group and creating fear around them that is unwarranted. But
and it just happens immediately. It just happens immediately. And what's funny is that within the show, Christine is basically Carolyn Levitt, that's very much the deal. She just is the mouthpiece of the visitors. And they kind of take over the news pretty quickly. But the reality is when I was younger, I was like, boy, how did they take over the news? And I think I'm watching the world now and I go, the news just does it.
Yeah. The news is happy to do it.
Yeah, they just do it.
I mean, it's because, even her whole thing when she is talking to Michael and she's like, they want me to be their spokesperson and it's such a great opportunity, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, what about your integrity as a journalist? And she's like, but think of the access I'll get.
Exactly.
And that's all it is. It's access, and we see it constantly with reporters where they're like, well, we knew about this thing, but we didn't want to say anything because access, we lose our access, and then
exactly.
How are we going to find out stuff that we don't tell you?
100%.
And we need more Michaels out there who want the truth and not the access. He'll sneak on for the access.
So that's part of what watching it now in 2026, all of these things that either felt really fast or felt a little okay, it's TV, so you got to do it this way. It's oh no, that's just how it goes. That's just it. That's just the way that it works. And we're seeing it in real life constantly right now. And it's upsetting. It makes watching V a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Because when we like in 1982, 83 or whatever, when this first aired, or the years I revisited it, like we never got more than like, I don't know, 45 minutes into this movie. Do you know what I mean? Like in America, like in real life.
Yeah.
But like America today is kind of the end of this episode. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like it kind of is. Like we're at that point now. Like we really are. We have made it through the entire episode of V. First episode of V. Like, I mean, like we really are sort of there. And it's at the checkpoint where the guy gets shot in the back that I was like, oh yeah, this happens in Minneapolis.
Well, not just that he gets shot in the back, he gets shot in the back, and then the cop handcuffs him.
Yeah, and it's like, this guy gets what he deserves.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's 100% what's happening to Alex Pretty and Renee Good. Like, that's 100% what's happening today. And, which is not to diminish that, but it's just to say, like...
because it's what has been happening throughout human history. And we keep doing this cycle of it. You know, I mean, it's not... You know, we see it over and over again at different periods and different places. And it's terrifying and horrible. And... I don't want to. I'd rather not have to live through it.
So Tony is smart. Tony notices that there was like video footage of like one of these scientists signing a confession, and he's like, "Hey, this guy was signing with his left hand, but we interviewed this guy, and I got him to sign a book for my dad, and he signed with his right hand." And
Tony, quite the memory.
well, he was like, "Something's wrong about this," and Mike's like, whatever, he's ambidextrous. And he goes, no, well, then I got to look at these other guys, and guess what? All of these guys, they were all right-handed last week, and they're all left-handed now. So they're like, that's pretty fucking weird. Like, that's pretty odd. So Mike's like, we got to sneak onto that ship. We got to find out what's going on up there. And Tony's not psyched about it, which makes me wonder, when Tony trips when they're trying to get on the ship, is he doing that on purpose because he doesn't want to fucking go on the ship? Because it's like a really dumb trip. It's like a really stupid one. He's laying there, and he's like, oh, he just tripped over a pipe. Like, it's not his...
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember his leg being wedged, but it's not. He just tripped over a pipe.
Yeah.
But he acts like his leg is wedged for a second.
Yeah.
But Mike Donovan gets on the ship. He manages to make it, and Tony stays behind. And once he goes on there, he realizes, first of all, whatever chemicals they're getting from Earth, they're dumping them right back into the atmosphere as soon as they're done.
Which is great.
And then he sneaks through some classic ventilation shaft sneaking. Gotta have
This is a great scene that shows Mark Singer's ability to always know where the camera is, which is not very difficult because it's his scenes and whatnot. But he knows where the camera is, and he knows how to make sure that his best side is always facing the camera, no matter what direction he's walking. He will walk backwards 30 feet because he wants to keep like one side of his face seen at all times. It's amazing. He is the king of that. Yeah. Of like always standing like this. Like no matter what's happening, his head is not quite fully straight towards the camera. It's impressive.
You could tell that the visitors are definitely aliens because their ventilation system is so weird that like the ventilation, like the filters are just like see-through. Like it's crazy. Like everybody's in their room that can just see into the ventilation shafts all the time. And so he sees that woman in her nightie reading a book, and then he goes to Diana's room, and Diana and Steve, is it Steven that she's talking to?
I think it's Steven.
So he comes into it is Diana and Steven, yeah. And they're talking, and this is one of those things like where like the conversation they have, nobody would have. But they have to have the conversation because the information has to get out. Like you can't spend a long time with him piecing this together. They have to say, oh, we are here. Like the first thing he hears is Steven saying, and we'll pretty much dominate all of the continents quite soon. Like it's the first thing he hears. And Diana has created a conversion process, and it's worked so well that the people they convert actually believe they're in a conspiracy. They actually truly believe it. And the supreme leader back on their home planet, it's like, just make everybody do this. And Diana's like, he's so stupid, the supreme leader. She also, by the way, fucks the supreme leader quite clearly, because Steven's like, I thought that maybe your intimate relationship with our supreme leader. She's like, watch your fucking tone of voice, buddy.
Yeah, she's a real Laura Loomer.
She really is Laura Loomer. The Epstein files has the accusation that Kristi Noem blew Trump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Well, Trump says Kristi Noem blew him. Somebody's like, Trump said that Noem blew him, and Epstein's like, I'm not so sure about that, but that's what Trump says. That's like such insight into Trump that like Epstein is like, yeah, he says it, but like this guy, he says shit, you know. So they're talking, and she's like, we can't do this. We can't convert the whole population. The human will is too strong. And it turns out everybody has like a really great collection of pets in their rooms. It turns out, just like really cute guys.
They all have like the solar opposites wall.
Yes, they do have a solar opposites wall. I should find out if that's what inspired by this. They have a solar opposites wall, and it turns out first we see Steven eat a little white rat, but we see him do it from behind, so we don't really see it happening. We see him like slurping it down like ramen.
Yeah, we see the tongue or the tail sticking out. Yeah,
and but then Diana pulls a fucking gerbil out, and she takes it all the way down. Oh, I guess it's a guinea pig, but like I love this special effect because it's a big
awesome.
fake head, and the big fake head that like stretches open, and there's a real human hand, but the person who with the hand can't see where they're going, so the hand is like flapping around,
trying to get the gerbil in there. Yeah,
it's really funny.
It's like those videos they have of like the dog, but
yes,
it's
the
like
dog with somebody's hands.
The person can't see what's happening,
and the human arms like cutting the food to feed to the dog. Like it's it's exactly that. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
Mike freaks out because oh my god, they are fucking eating people. As he leaves, he sees a visitor taking his contacts out, and he turns around and Mike sees his crazy fucking eyes, red and a slitted pupil, and the visitor sees Mike. Because he can see right through the fucking ventilation thing, and they have a big fight. They have a good fight too. Like Mike does a great like 80s 70s fight where he like grabs a pipe on the ceiling and swings and kicks him in the chest. Why do people don't do that anymore? They should do it all the time. It's so fucking good.
I don't know. One thing I love about the fight though is that Mike never forgets who he is. He's a reporter, and at one point after he rips the guy's face off, and we see the lizard face. And then he grabs his head and forces him to look at the camera.
I love that. I really like Mike.
Great.
So in
Mike's awesome.
In It Can't Happen Here, the main character is a journalist. The main hero is a journalist. So Kenneth Johnson is really like going on that tip very much. So he's like, he didn't just make this guy because like the freelance independent war journalist, that's like a tough guy, that's like a good hero because he's a tough guy, but for Johnson it's also the guy who's really interested in the truth. He's not just doing I'm a tough guy that has war experience, he's doing I'm a tough guy who cares. And I understand that my biggest weapon, that's why at the beginning they compare and contrast the helicopter the same way that the guy with the gun. So that's the thing. But yeah, so he pulls off the face. We see that the visitors have these spikes on their heads that just would not fit underneath their fucking flesh.
Well, some of them do, as we see later. Some of them don't have that. Like they have different types, which I like.
But they have a big fight. Mike Donovan hits the guy in the head with his giant fucking camera. And it's an enormous fucking camera.
Beta cam, yeah.
He finally is able to get away, and he runs and gets back out to the hangar. There's alarms going off, and he jumps into a ship, and the ship takes him back to the surface. Boy, good thing that was where he got where he was going. That took him right back to Los Angeles, thank God.
I will say, bad move, visitors. If you know somebody's on your ship and you set off the alarm, also stop all ships from leaving. Mm-hmm. Just don't be like, well, they can still go.
No, it's a lock. You would do a lockdown.
You do a lockdown. Yeah. But I do appreciate Mike's jump into the ship, and that it's just Mark Singer jumping into the ship. It's a good little stunt he does there.
So we could then cut to the TV station, and they have his tape, and they're going to break into the TV program to play the tape. Nobody's seen the tape, it seems like, but he's told them that it's nuts and that they're actually dumping all the chemicals back into the air. Yeah. And they're going to put it on, and then all of a sudden, just as like they cut into the program, it goes out. And in fact, Ma Bell goes down. Fucking AT&T goes down. And they don't just lose their satellite feeds, they lose their actual landline connection to New York.
And it's every network.
Every network then goes out. And John gets on TV. He's like, hey, bad news, guys. We had to do a martial law. By the way, the worst part about this is that this is so Donald Trump coded, because John says all of the politicians came to me with tears in their eyes and said, sir, can you please do a martial law? You're very big and strong, and we need you to do a martial law.
It's very hard watching this and not thinking like Trump as John. Like when he first comes out, he's like, we have the biggest ships. We got the greatest V's. You won't believe it. What we've got.
So
You know.
they are now running martial law. And because these scientists have been exploding things, it turns out. And later on, there's a scene where characters are watching TV and they're seeing terrorist attacks.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why it's the Maxwells, and the wife is like, how could they be faking all of this? And Robert's like, well, Hollywood does it all the time. And I don't know why anybody's not like, it's just false flags, bros. Like, they're just blowing up their own shit. Like, that's much cheaper than doing fake stuff. And
which also, there's a great bit. I mean, I've watched this so many times, but I don't know if I ever caught this before. But, when they first show up and John is like, we have great scientific things that we'll share with you. And will completely change your entire civilization and blah, 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 blah. And then here, when they're shown like, oh, the scientists are attacking them and they're like, oh, we're going to have to keep track of every scientist. And there's supposed to be a big science conference next week. And we're going to have to cancel that. And we're going to have to wait to share all of our information with you until this is handled. And I love that. I love that little touch right there of like, they're just keeping that carrot out of reach,
Well, that's the thing. That's how it has to work. So the way that almost every single time, it is like, frankly, Revenge of the Sith got it right. Like, what you're doing is that you're declaring in a momentary martial law. This is not for real. Please don't rise up. There's no reason for you all to get upset. Like, I'm going to hand power back as soon as this is handled. Don't worry about it. We'll be able to handle it pretty quickly.
And we're still taking our shoes off at the airport.
Yeah, exactly. So, so now things are really fucking intense because it's martial law, and the visitors are putting up their propaganda posters. Friendship is universal. Abraham is really upset. His buddy next door is like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Like, this is going to pass." And he's like, "That's what I thought in 1938 in Berlin." I do have to say that I don't know that he would have been hanging around in 1938 Berlin. I think that might have been a little bit late in the process. But I mean,
they're in the camps.
Maybe. No, he's not in the camps yet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
Because he's saying in Berlin 1938, he thought it would still pass. You're not when you're in the camps, you don't think it's going to pass.
No, I thought you meant like that they would have gotten out of Germany by then. Like, no.
No. He just did. So I think that he probably thought it was going to pass like in 34, probably. But whatever, 38 is the right year to use because the thing is that even though World War II had been going on or building for a while, America doesn't consider it until the end of the 30s as like actually being a thing. Yeah. So the Maxwell's like, we got to get the fuck out of town. Because the daughter Polly gets beat up for winning the science fair, and
which again just feels way like I don't doubt things like that happening right now.
Well, it's been happening for a minute. Remember, hey, so and so, cool clock. Do you want to come bring it to the White House? Remember that? The kid who built a clock at a science fair and then got in trouble because they thought it was a bomb. And then Obama was like, hey, cool clock. Yeah, remember that? So, like, it's been a minute. That stuff has been percolating for a minute. But yeah, today especially, like, if you are the out group, and that means if you're Antifa or if you are trans or whatever, or you support those people, you are in big trouble. And she got beat up and the teachers just let it happen. And again, that's the kind of thing that I think that we're seeing in this country already. Like, I don't believe that we would see teachers stepping in to stop a trans kid from getting beat.
Well, there was a story like a year ago or something where some kids were picking on a trans student, and the trans student fought back, and the trans student got suspended, and the other kids didn't. Yeah, and they were like, "Well, that kid hit one of them." And it's like, "Well, yeah, they surrounded the kid, and we're like." Clearly going to do stuff to that kid. And
so
they fought back. Like,
so things are pretty bad, and the Maxwells are going to leave the city. Robin is awful. She's awful. She does not want to leave Brian behind. She wants to stay. All her friends are there. Like, she is so fucking oblivious. But again, I actually feel like that's really real too, though. That honestly feels real.
Well, her and Daniel both represent, like I said before, the whole thing of like good times, great weak men. The idea of like they just don't understand what's happening around them.
Not just
Daniel
that, though,
sees it as like a way to prove himself, and she sees it as like, whatever, I got a crush on the guy and I just want to hang out with my friends and blah blah blah.
But that's not good times treating weak people. That's how this always works with all these kinds of situations, which is that most people aren't paying attention, and it's not really like it's whatever. It's not my problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not my issue. Like, I'm not a scientist. I don't care.
No, they're middle class, suburban kids.
Right.
They don't have an aspect to connect into this.
Even though her dad is a scientist. But
Yes.
so she's on the run. Earlier, she had been walking with Brian, and he had been like, I miss my home, but it's so much nicer to have friends here like you, because they have begun like kind of a thing. He's playing video games at her house and shit like that. And Daniel sees this, and he's like, boy, too bad that your dad's a scientist, huh? And Brian's like, shit, her dad's a scientist. And so, like, it's pretty not great. So they try to get away. Earlier, by the way, their gardener quit because Sancho, their gardener, couldn't work for them because the other people he worked for didn't want to work with him if he was working for a scientist. Yeah. And it's not because they hate scientists, it's because they're afraid of getting caught up in the thing. I mean, that really is what it comes down to, right? Like, when people start ostracizing folks like this, it's not always because they didn't always hate the Jews. They just didn't want to fucking get caught up in it.
Yeah,
like,
especially it's heavily implied that Sancho is not, he's not in the States legally.
Oh, well, we're going to find out that it isn't the case. So they try to get out of town, and when they get out of town, there's a fucking roadblock. They're not letting anybody out. And Mom's like, why the fuck would they possibly do this? Why would they let us go? And so, because it's easier to keep track of us in the city. Like, they don't want to let us out and so as they're waiting at this roadblock trying to figure out what to do, a guy comes running down the street, and he gets shot in the back. And he was trying to help a scientist, we find out.
Yeah.
And he falls in their fucking windshield. Yeah. By the way, this does not impress Robin that much. Like, she still is a dumbass.
Robin could not care less. Polly is like, it looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. Which,
well, that's again, the thing. When
Polly,
Robin,
beautiful.
Robin doesn't want to leave because all her friends are there, and Polly's like, well, what if we just stayed here and fought? And her family's like, come on, like, look at us. So then though, Mom has an idea. She's like, okay, let's turn around and know where we can go. And so meanwhile, Juliet and Ben have got a little resistance meeting going. They're hiding in like a abandoned store of some kind, and there's like a cop driving by with the sirens on, and they're worried because the cops now work with the visitors. And Mike Donovan, by the way, got put on TV as like the leader of the conspiracy. Like, he's the biggest, baddest guy. And it's like, if you see this guy, kill him. And now the police departments are working. There's a cop in this resistance meeting he joined because...
Not just any cop.
What?
He's the dad from Boy Meets World.
Oh, I have never watched that program, so
I love that show.
But he joined because his partner got disappeared because his partner didn't want to work with the visitors. He felt like it wasn't correct. And so he knows that shit's really bad. Like, it's worse than anybody knows. And so they're there hanging out, and they have they're mostly scientists, so they're pretty well organized. They're like, okay, we need a headquarters, we need lab equipment. And
Julie's got it all figured out. Yeah.
I mean, she's a natural. I really like, this is the thing I really like about this show, is that it's not military people. The cop is not the leader of the resistance. It's the scientist lady. And because it's about regular people, this has been the thing in Minneapolis. So I think what's really interesting about V and Minneapolis is that as much as Trump and everybody wants to get on the TV and say, oh, it's these trained protesters, it's not. It's just people in the neighborhood. Yeah. And they just figured out the way to do this shit because the way to do this shit is obvious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing at the end of the day. Like, how to do this stuff is just simply obvious. Yeah. And, but all resistances generally are regular people stepping up. That's what's happening here. Juliet's just a regular person, and she just figures it out. She actually is such a good organizer, though. This is like the kind of thing, having been a professional organizer, at the end of the meeting, she's like, okay, we'll meet back here Thursday, and everybody bring 4 other new people with you. And I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. That's incredible organizing. And B, very ambitious, Juliet. Very ambitious.
That's the thing is, if I was there, I'd be like, 4? I don't know if you noticed, there's 6 of us now, and this place is already full. Like, there's no space. So we need a bigger space if you want each of us to bring 4 more people. Because now we're talking like 24 people in here.
Actually, you'd be like, 4? I'm not convinced I know 4 people.
I know 4 people. I just don't know if I want to text them. You know. That's going to be the problem. Like, oh, geez, I guess I'm not going to be part of this thing.
So they need equipment. So Ben goes to Elias and is like, "Hey, I know I need some help." And Elias is really mad at Ben because Ben's the golden boy,
Yeah.
and Elias is the character from a blaxploitation film.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, now you're asking me for help." And he's like, "You know what? Actually, this shit isn't so bad." And by the way, so here's one of the really interesting things in V here, which is that you said earlier, like all these characters are white except for this guy who's black. But I think that one of the really interesting things, and I don't know how much Johnson did this on purpose. It feels like it has to be on purpose. All of the people who know how to deal with this shit are people from oppressed classes. So it's the Jews who lived through the Holocaust, know how to hide people. It's the black guy who's been living on the street, like as a criminal, knowing he has the line here, like, "Oh, there's a new man in charge. What is the same as the old man?" Like it's not that different.
It doesn't change the street.
Doesn't change the street. Like it's the dynamics are the same. Like there's people out here trying to fuck us over, and we're figuring out how to live. And then there's the Mexican gardener who is going to help the Maxwells try to get out of town next episode because he understands how to get past that stuff. He knows what that deal is all about. You know, he probably also, I mean, I don't remember exactly. He probably comes from a country where there's unrest and strife and stuff like that. He's lived through this most likely.
Well, he's Mexican.
Is he Mexican specifically?
Yeah.
They say that out loud? I know his name is Sancho.
His name is Sancho. There's a sombrero in his home.
I mean, but it's 1980, whatever.
Yeah, I know. It screams to me Mexican, but maybe I'm wrong.
I would agree. I would agree he most likely is, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, well, it's 1980, whatever. I'm not really convinced that they're really getting it right. Yeah. But so that's
what was Tony's last name? Leonetti
or something like that. Yeah. So, but like one of the things that is the undercurrent here is that many of the main characters are white, but they discover that in a fascist society that they're not safe either. They have been living in a society where they were okay with other people as the underclass because they were fine, but they discover quite quickly that in this kind of a society that the underclass is much bigger than it ever previously was, and that you can get part of the underclass by just simply saying in front of your son that the fucking TV news sucks. And so I think that's really interesting because Elias's thing here is really fascinating. Where it really is like, hey, it's the same shit, man. Like I'm actually doing really well because nobody can get fresh fruit anymore. Nobody can get beef. And I like that too, by the way, because I don't understand why that's the case, but I also don't understand why that's the case in our lives now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't fully understand why shit's so expensive all the time.
No, I definitely I thought about this watching this. And I was trying to figure it out. And my initial thought came from earlier when, you know, when they first meet the visitors at the UN building, and Mike and Tony are there, and I was like, well, Mike and Tony were in
El Salvador,
and it's been less than 24 hours, and they're in New York now. There's no way there were flights. All flights have to be shut down because there's giant spaceships in the sky. So they had to travel back by land, which would be quite a journey. There's no way.
They had to fly. They had to. To travel by land is more than 2 days. They would have to. They might have. I mean, first of all, it's really worth noting that nobody.
I mean, it's TV.
This.
It's TV. No, nobody. But I think that feeds into what is happening here with him being like, there's no fresh fruit, there's no beef. I think a lot of transportation has been shut down because part of it is the scientist stuff.
I don't think that's
like,
the case.
No.
No, I don't think it's the case at all. Scientists have nothing to do with transportation.
I mean, they're keeping everybody in the cities and stuff. They said. They're
not keeping every. They're roadblocks. They're keeping people who are scientists. Like if you're not a scientist, you could probably get through that roadblock. It's not like they're turning everybody away. Like they're checking people. So like it's one of those things. That's how it worked, by the way, in the Jewish ghettos. Like you could leave the ghetto if you were not Jewish, but if you were Jewish, you couldn't get out. You had to get special papers. But
what I'm saying is everything is slowed down now because of these things.
I mean, maybe
so now there's less of stuff.
Shipping, I don't know how much that would really impact is the thing. Because shipping is not like flying on your passenger jets where they're checking for scientists. Shipping is run by shipping companies. So I don't fully know exactly why the scientist shit would slow this stuff down. Like it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I just think that partially it's like probably like it is here now. Part of it is like post-COVID, it's been price gouging. Yeah. There's no reason things cost as much as they cost. It's just because they figured out they could charge you that much. That's why I think Frito-Lay just announced that they're reducing their prices on their chips because their chips got really expensive post-COVID. And it's because they thought like everybody's stuck at home, they're going to eat these chips. But then people stopped doing it because they want to pay $7 for a bag of fucking chips. And so they've been forced to reduce their prices. It's very rare, though. I think that's probably part of it. I mean, I mean, I wonder
I think it's a matter of more people want like being like we're in charge of this stuff, and it causes slowdowns and
but
also
why? Why would that? I don't understand. Like,
but I think that's what we see now is part of that. It's just incompetence runs amok.
but is there incompetence here?
Whatnot.
That's the question. Is there incompetence, and what's the red tape? I don't really understand.
In this, the incompetence is because we see later on that the visitors kind of have all politicians like under lock and key.
Right.
So I think it's slowing everything down. And I think the same is happening with factories because they're like, no. Instead of shipping over all this beef or like fruit or vegetables or whatever, we need the things that we need for our supplies of what we're doing.
But they're not shipping it the ways that you ship beef. They have spaceships that they take up to their ships.
But I'm saying to the factories to create whatever they're creating.
But those are chemical factories. Those aren't factories that are processing.
But no, we only see a chemical factory. We don't.
No, they say at the beginning we're repurposing chemical factories. Yeah, that's all they don't need slaughterhouses.
No, but they need like I'm thinking like equipment and stuff so that they have like because they're repurposing these factories, but then you need like, the equipment to repurpose the factories and yada 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 and all that.
But then none of that stuff is slaughterhouse stuff. Like none of that stuff.
No, I'm not saying. Oh my god,
I really don't understand.
I'm saying that instead of shipping the fruits and vegetables or the beef. No, you got to put that aside because we need you to ship these parts that we need for our factory.
So the thing is, I don't think that they're actually that worried because the factories are all just bullshit. So I think it's not like they retrofitted those factories in a day. Like I think that's the thing. That's all done.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's nonsense. So and like if they had special parts they needed, they would just fly them down from their ships.
Yeah.
I mean,
another answer to it is it keeps the populace weaker because they're not getting good food.
I mean the argument there is that it's a problem because not feeding the populace creates unrest. You want to actually feed them.
They're being fed, but they're not getting fresh vegetables and beef.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the kind of thing that makes people unhappy. You kind of want like your people to like feel like that things are better for them. Like it's going to get bad for them eventually, no matter what, because as the grip tightens. But at this point, I just want.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's because it's the story and that's how it works in fascism. I don't really understand, like, in terms of the plot of this program, what the pieces are. I would love to know. I'm sure there's a way to explain it. You know what I mean?
What if he was like, getting your kid a gerbil these days is real tough. You got to come to the streets for it.
You know, all the pet stores are wiped out.
Pet stores are out.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I think it's just for the story, and that's how it works in these kinds of societies and stuff like that. Because the way that it does work, and maybe this is what's happening here, is that like as things get nationalized and taken over by the fascist government, because fascism is also corporatism. It's the working of the corporate sector and the government sector in that way. You get like the people who are friendly to the fascists get the jobs, and so it doesn't matter if they're any good at it. We're seeing that right now, like where everybody that's in charge of shit is an idiot.
Are you saying that Dan Bongino's not good at his job?
I mean, he did quit to go back to being a podcaster because he was like, fuck, I had to work. What the fuck is this? I had to go work.
I had to sit in an office.
He went, you know, he said that he said this when he was FBI assistant director or whatever, that when he was about the Epstein files, when I was a podcaster, I was being paid to say certain things to be more interesting, whatever, but like it wasn't real. And now that I'm there, I see that this is the deal. And then he goes back to being a podcaster and just starts doing that again. And it's like insane to me. Like he just told you it's a fucking thing, man. He just told you it's a fucking bit.
Yeah. And then he goes back to being podcasting. He's like, why won't they release these? He's like, why didn't you?
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So Elias is like, fuck you, I'm not helping. The Maxwells get taken in by Abraham next door. He puts them in the pool house. Robin is horrible about it. She's like, this is too dirty. We can't live here. This is horrible. But the family's like, fucking shut up. We're gonna get disappeared, bro. Just fucking deal with it. And then the dad of the family shows up and he's like, you can't put these people in our pool house. And Abraham gives his whole speech. He's like, remember how we got you out of Germany, we put you in a suitcase and smuggled you out? He's like, yeah, I know the story. He goes, no, you don't know the story. I told you that your mother died in a boxcar of a heart attack, but she didn't. She made it to the camp. And your mother, last time I saw her, she was standing naked in the cold and they had shaved her head and she was in line for the showers that didn't have any water. Yep. And he's like, imagine if somebody had done this for us.
He's like, what would be different? It was really weird because we're Italian.
So the Stanley, the dad of the family, is like, oh, fine, because Abraham has a great line, and the line is, "They have to stay, or else we haven't learned a thing." Bad
Yes.
news, Abraham, we haven't learned
We
a
have not learned
fucking
a
thing.
thing.
Because here's the thing: in Minneapolis, people have begun hiding in other people's houses.
Yeah.
They were hiding in their own homes. But then what happened is that ICE began getting like shittier about it. Do you know there was a video of ICE guys pretending to have car problems?
Car problems, yeah. I saw that.
To draw a guy out of his house, and they're going to say like, these are the worst of the worst. This guy came out of his house to help.
To help, yeah. Yeah.
And so people now are hiding in other people's houses because as long as ICE knows where you live, they will come up with a reason to get in. They will whatever. So people are sneaking.
Grab your kid who's on his way to school and force you to come out. Yeah,
come out, right? Exactly.
You saw that. You're like,
until that happened, yeah. And then they'll claim, oh, the mother didn't want the kid anymore. It's like, no, the mother was like, what am I going to do? I have other kids. Do I get arrested or I go out and get that kid? I don't like. They have a literal term for this from a movie called Sophie's Choice. Like it's impossible. By the way, also a movie about the Nazis. Just in case anybody's wondering, all of the references to this shit is to the Nazis.
It's almost like we've done this before and we know what happens.
It's almost like in the 80s, somebody was like, what if we just did this again, but as an alien science fiction show? And everybody's like, yeah, cool. Let's not actually learn anything from it. So Juliet is going to go try to get Christine. The scientist group is like, well, what if we get Christine to help us? Like, very naive. But I kind of like the naivete of it. Like that they can't imagine that she's actually working for them or whatever. And so she's going to go to Juliet's house to go try to convince her. And while she's waiting outside, she sees Mike Donovan sneak into the apartment. And he busts into Christine's apartment, and she's like in a towel. And she's like, oh, my God, Mike, you scared me. Let's fix this. Like, we started this together. Let's fix this. And he's like, listen, here's the deal. They're fucking lizards, man. And
we missed it when he calls.
He calls Tony.
And Mike Donovan, he is currently on the run.
Mike Donovan, Mike Donovan.
Yeah,
no,
right?
it's Mark Singer, Mike Donovan. That's why I keep getting confused.
I have to keep looking back. I have to keep looking back to make sure. Yeah, Mike Donovan, currently on the run, calls up Tony, cannot figure out the idea that the phone lines are tapped.
Yeah.
Like, really takes him a while to figure that out. Also, he's just standing on the street wearing the same clothes that they have all the footage of him in.
Well, I like though he calls and Tony goes, "Oh, hey, Uncle Tito," and Mike goes,
Uncle Tito.
He's like, "Stop with this shit, buddy." It's like so fucking funny.
Hey, this is serious stuff. Like, yeah, how do you not figure this out, man? Right away, you should know.
And the thing is, to credit for the show, he's so stupid that he does get his call traced, and they in fact show up and begin shooting at him immediately. Yes. However, it's very funny. He's running away from a spaceship, and he jumps over a fence in an alley and gets away. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, there's a spaceship over there. Like
they just float right over you the whole time.
He just went over a fence in an alleyway. So she sees Mike go in, and then Mike is in there and like making out with Christine because men are powerless against the pussy.
Women in towels, yeah.
Just can't. You can't. You're powerless. But he then sees as they're making out, he's in the window, the reflection in the mirror. There's a guy in the window. They turn out the visitors have shown up. She has obviously like tripped an alarm or something, and she's like, "Hey,
she's under watch." Was how I took it.
Well, no, because she says, "Hey, I might believe you if you could get me the tape." She definitely wants. Okay, she doesn't want to see. She doesn't want to see the tape. She wants to get rid of the tape. It's quite clear in that moment because even he's like, "Come on, give me a fucking break." Like,
why do you think they didn't convert her?
They might have. We don't.
I don't get the feeling that they did.
I think one of the things that I like if they didn't is that I like the idea that we live in this world right now where you don't have to convert these people. They're just so fucking empty and they want power and money so much that they are really just willing to do whatever. So like all of the Trump people, they all say stuff now that we know they don't believe because they had said different things a few years ago.
Sure.
Yeah. And so like Marco Rubio gave a truly insane speech at the German Security Conference this week where like it's nuts where he's like, actually American people came to America for sovereignty and for Western civilization. It's like, no, we came to America for self-governance. We didn't come to be part of a connection to the old world. In fact, the whole premise was like, get the fuck out of here, old world. We're doing a whole new world over here. But like,
the whole premise was the old world was like, these people got to get out of here.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. When we did the revolution, I'm saying.
No, I'm making a joke.
But Marco Rubio knows that. Marco Rubio is evil, but he's not stupid. And Marco Rubio has been in the government long enough that we know that he understands like what the purpose of the American Revolution is.
I mean, there was Homan was on one of the morning shows this morning, and he was talking about like warrants. He's like, well, you can't have warrants for everyone. It's too much. And the person he's talking to, the host of the show, was like, well, like a year ago, you said you needed warrants for all of these.
Yeah.
What changed? And he's like, my mind didn't change. It's just, it's the rules that we have to follow. It's
No,
like,
it's not.
you
It's
made
not.
that rule.
Yeah, no, the Fourth Amendment's pretty fucking clear
Yeah,
on
the
it.
Fourth
You need a
Amendment's very
warrant
clear.
for
Yeah.
everybody, for
Yeah.
everything, like very fucking clear. And like
Yes.
that's one of the arguments they're trying to make. Is that what's funny is that like when you read the actual amendments, like it's so nuts that there's even an argument about this.
Yeah.
Because when they're saying like, oh, this doesn't apply to immigrants or whatever, and the Fourth Amendment doesn't say citizens only. It says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So like it's very specific.
It's very clear. It's very clear.
Very clear. So, you know, and
I mean, we're talking about people who argue that the Second Amendment doesn't mean well-regulated militia. They mean you have to keep your gun clean.
right.
So,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, it's people that are just full of shit. And you know what? If you're listening to this and you're like, man, I don't want to listen to all this political stuff. I have bad news, man. It's just V. Like, we're not even like going off. This is not a tangent. This is 100% on topic right now.
Yeah, this is what the show is about. Yeah.
And the show's 40 fucking years old. So, like, it's not even like we're talking about like some kind of woke shit from now. Like, it is now.
Which, if this was made now, people would be complaining about it being.
Oh, they would be so mad about it right now. They would be so mad about it. So Mike Donovan fights this trooper on the fire escape, and he gets away barely. There's a shootout and stuff like that. And
I love, by the way, the noise of the laser guns is so
yeah,
cool.
they're pretty good. Do you think if I'm showing this gun that YouTube is going to think that I'm doing gun material and they're going to block this video?
I'm a little worried about when you pointed it right at the camera. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm very curious how it's going to go. So we cut back to Daniel's house, and he comes home drunk late at night. And we had seen him earlier getting drunk, and his dad was like, "You're drinking too much." And then the dad was complaining because Christine was on TV. He's like, "I'm so fucking tired of her voice. We're only ever hearing one side. The papers are the same thing. Sometimes it's word for word." And again, by the way, it's just now. Like, it's not like it's just now.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like the thing that's really crazy about the media right now is that they just report the things that these people say, and they don't, that's it. They just say, well, they say this.
Yes.
That's it. But like when Elon Musk is like, we're going to build a factory on the moon.
Yeah,
Nobody's
he's
like,
gonna build a factory on the moon.
he's building, nobody's like, he has never done any of the things he says he's going to do. He has not once in the past.
I mean, the article headline should be like Elon Musk, who said we would be on Mars 5
By
years
now.
ago.
Yeah, about 5 years ago. Yeah. So like that's the thing. Like, but we're living in that same world where you're just hearing the one side, which is whatever these idiots are saying. They're just printing it, and it's their attempt to be objective or whatever. But it's crazy, and so that was a really good scene too, because like the wife is like, "Don't fucking say that shit in front of Daniel," because
And then Daniel's gone.
because our kid's like evil. Like it turns out, like we got a bad seed over here.
Well, it's
and,
great and then they're like, "Where is he?" And they're like, "Oh my god, he's calling us in."
Yeah.
And he comes back in, and they're like, "Where were you?" He's like, "I was taking a shit."
I believe it because he has a newspaper. I do believe it.
Yeah,
I
he has a
believe
newspaper.
that kid only reads the paper to go take a shit. Like
He
that's,
also, by the way, is whistling, but whatever he was whistling, I guess they decided not to use because there's no sound of him whistling. But he's making a whistling face throughout a lot of it.
But he's also wearing his fucking little Hitler
His
Youth
little
outfit.
Hitler Youth outfit with a gun strapped.
Yeah,
to
the
him.
gun.
Yeah.
I love they gave this kid a gun. Insane.
I love that he's sitting there in that outfit with the gun in the holster on his hip, sitting crisscross applesauce 2 feet away from the TV drinking.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great thing of like, oh, he's 17.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a kid.
But he thinks he's an adult now.
Yeah.
And it's such an interesting thing. It's really a great, says a lot, like just in the way that he's sitting and all that. It's just great.
It's really terrific. So Daniel comes home drunk from some Hitler Youth rally or whatever, and Robin is in his fucking living room. And she's like, "Wait, what's going on?" She's
Just
like,
standing there looking out the window like an idiot.
She's like, everybody fell asleep. I snuck out. I can't keep living in your pool house where your grandfather hit our whole family. It's like, what the fuck, Robin? What the fuck's wrong with you? But I like, the thing is, I like when characters are stupid in these ways because it is, again, very real. That is how some of this stuff goes. People are just stupid. She's known Daniel her whole life.
Yeah.
She's so fucking oblivious that he's like touching her and like, hey, did you still want to lose your virginity before you
Yeah,
died?
I mean that whole scene when she's like, I don't want to die a virgin. And he's like, no, I'm gonna bang you right here in the front lawn, like in the middle of the day. Yeah,
So he's
she's
really coming.
oblivious.
He's coming on hard to her. She's totally oblivious. She's like, did Brian ask about me? Does Brian ever ask about me? What do you think? A guy like me and a girl like that, princess like that? And Luke was like, I don't think at all. Anyway, the Resistance is doing a raid. They are stealing equipment. They're stealing a microscope.
Yes.
I love that. Like, there's not like some kind of special. It's just a fucking microscope.
Just
Like,
a microscope.
the Ben goes, I hope this equipment really helps us figure out how to defeat these guys. And it's like, it's a fucking microscope, dude. Like, I mean, like,
it's like, hey, why didn't we just send the cop to like a store to buy a microscope?
yeah, why don't we just go to fucking Toys R Us where they sell microscopes? Like, I mean, like,
Unless they pulled all scientific equipment off the shelves.
it is interesting. They still did have the science fair, but they did beat up the science fair winner. So it is, I guess, a transitional period. So they the cop is driving the truck. Ben and Juliet are doing the heist, and they get ambushed. A bunch of visitor troops show up, and the truck drives away, but Juliet stops and is like, we have to go back and get Ben. I guess that's her car.
I suppose.
I guess.
Yes.
I mean,
suppose.
I guess people leave their keys in the car, but it seems like it does seem to me like that probably was the deal. They probably were going to get out of the vehicle and like get into different cars and let the truck go its own way.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, no, we can't go back. We got to do this. She's no, I can't leave Ben behind. Ben is running away from the visitors. He gets shot. He does a thing that people did all the time in the 80s. Nobody does anymore, which is they get shot and then fall over a ledge. That was really very common.
That was very common back in the 80s. Yeah.
That was like the standard way to get shot, was to get shot and fall over a ledge of some kind, or a railing. Like that. Like, I don't know if you got shot and there was no railing. Did you like stumble until you could find a railing to fall over?
I
feel like that was the deal.
Well, like in the first Naked Gun movie, when he's in the room getting shot up, and then he like opens up the door, walks out, and then falls off the ledge. Yeah, falls off the railing of the boat. Yeah.
So Ben falls. He's really fucked up. He's all bloody. Juliet goes to try to help him. Ben's like, no, don't. And then she gets shot.
She gets shot in the hip.
I really like this bit. There's like a tight shot on her face as she's laying there. And what's happening here is that she's not just in pain, but it's this feeling of like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually happening. Like, this is real. Like, we have been doing resistance stuff. We had stolen things. We've been hiding in meetings. But, like, I just got shot. Like, and my good friend is dying over there. This is super fucking real. She drags him into the car, and they get away. And she takes him to Ben's house, and Elias is back there. Elias is charging $6 for a dozen eggs. Not that far off from where things got during the pandemic.
Yes, very close.
Kind of pandemic prices, because I was paying like $5 for a dozen eggs right around there.
Although inflation, that would probably be like $20 now.
Well, here's the thing. I live in Los Angeles, and sometimes there's like the really crazy, stupid organic eggs, and they can definitely go for $20.
Oh, they go up there. Yeah.
And Ben is dying in the car, and Elias is like, "What are you trying to do a heist without me? Like, you're so stupid. You should know." And Ben is basically like,
Ben is dying in the car, and Elias is like, this is my moment to give my monologue that I will use for auditions moving forward.
This is my Emmy. This is my Emmy reel.
And to be very clear, it's a great monologue. It's well done. It's a beautiful scene.
It's the kind of monologue that people don't do anymore. They don't get anymore, because what's happening is that his brother is dying right in front of him, and he is like blocking it out, and he's just doing like a bit about like,
the brother's going to take down the visitors, and
and then when he realizes he's dead, he's like, the doctor can't die, the other one can die, but that nobody does those monologues anymore.
No, they don't, and it's so great because it's a monologue of him not wanting to accept that his brother is dying, and also a part of him being like fuck all of you for constantly putting me down and overlooking me. Yeah. So he's got it's this thing of like, his brother is better than him. He feels guilt about these things, but also I'm the one that was made for these times, and you're not. But
he also understands, though,
great.
There's a lot of guilt, though, because Ben did ask for his help, and he turned him down. So he knows that Ben would not be dead right now if he had gone to help. That, like, because these idiots don't know how to do it.
They would have done it through the black market.
they would have been totally different. Like, he would have figured out how to, he might
I
have
know
still
a guy.
stolen it. Yeah, I know, or he still would have stolen it, but he would have done
Yeah.
it better. They did like a really dumb one where it's like they're dressed like the delivery guy. Like, it's just like, come on, like that's really, they're smuggling it out in the fucking laundry. Like they watch too many prison escape movies. Like, but I like that they're stupid. They don't know how to do it.
He would have been like, you can just buy one, right? They're like $15.
Let's go to Radio Shack, bro. Like,
He should be like, Julie, hold on. Julie, I'm sorry. Neither of you guys just own a microscope already?
yeah.
Aren't
Yeah,
you
no,
doctors?
seriously. Yeah, aren't you guys doctors? So then we cut to Abraham, and he's with his old lady friend, and they're walking down the street. There's some kids, and they're spray painting visitor propaganda posters. And they're spray painting it with, I think, abstract symbolism. I don't really know.
I'm not sure what those kids are doing.
At first, I thought they were putting a mustache on him, and then they start doing some kind of symbol over his head.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? But Abraham stops him and he goes, don't do that. And you're supposed to think like, oh no, here's an adult telling them not to do this. But he's like, no, you're doing it wrong. If you're going to do it right. And he spray paints the big V over it. And he goes, you see, for victory, go tell your friends. And then that's the end of the episode, to be continued. And that's V episode 1.
Yes.
What'd you think, buddy?
I want to say there's a different reality where this show is about Polly and Abraham running the resistance. And I would love that as well. Because they're my favorite characters, are Polly and Abraham.
Yeah.
Like in this watch through, at least, they are my favorite characters.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is so ingrained into my soul. Like I said, this aired, I was 6 years old. It's one of my earliest memories is watching the show. Like, I remember watching this as a kid. I remember sitting there watching it. I remember, playing V, of like grabbing a green marker and marking my hand and be like, I'm one of the V, and doing that kind of stuff with my friends. Like, this is one of the great stories to me, and I think it's really well done. I don't think it's a nostalgia thing. I think it's a well done story. It's really well put together. Overall, the acting is really good. The characters are interesting. It moves. I mean, the pacing of it is real quick.
They really get to the meat of it real fast. I mean, that's really interesting watching it, is like, they have 4 hours, and I feel like if this was Netflix, a lot of those 4 hours would be real waste of time. But like, the visitors show up like 15 minutes in. Like, it is fast. Like, we're not wasting any fucking time.
But even that, like, the opening scene is a huge action sequence that ends with the visitors arriving, and it's like it hooks you in right away. It's just boom, 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 and all the character stuff is through action, not through them talking about it. Like, and there's plenty of talking, but you learn about who these people are through their actions.
Right.
Well,
you see how they're responding to what's happening. We don't have to spend like a bunch of time with them before the aliens show up. Their reactions tell us who they are. Yeah. I had the same thing where I was like, I watched this a bunch of times over the years, but I was always like, but am I really like, is this just super nostalgia? Like, I had shown this to Brittany and she fucking loved it. So I was like, okay, that's good. Like, that helps. I know that she loved it.
Well, I mean, knowing that Shane was like, this was great. It was like,
it's really good. And that's the thing. I think that
made Shane watch 21 Jump Street and he was like, this is garbage. So
the movie?
He's not no, the TV show.
Oh, the TV show's not good. Yeah.
But I love it. But it's terrible. It's terrible.
But it's delightful. Yeah. It's great. I would watch it at any time, but it's not good. But no, I think this actually is good. I think this is like legitimately good. Like, I don't think this is just me being like, when I was a little kid, I love this. I really do think that this is excellent. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I loved as a kid that I know is garbage, and I'm okay with it. Like, I still love. I might still love it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be here on the fucking podcast going, I don't know, man. The Far Out Space Nuts is kind of a great show.
Yeah. Like, I said at the beginning of this, Incredible Hulk is one of my favorite shows. It's not a good show.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah,
but I love it in its corny goofiness.
It's a very good example of a certain kind of a show.
It's the Lonely Man show.
Yeah. It's a very good example of that.
It's the best example. The reason it's called the Lonely Man show is like that kind of thing is the theme song at the end.
Yeah. The theme song, Lonely Man. But I think this is actually excellent. And again, like, watching it now, I think I had watched it during Trump 1. It must have been Trump 1. No, maybe it was Biden, because I started dating Brittany in 2019, and she was living here when we watched it, so it must have been post-2020. So I was watching it Biden, so it was like one of those, like, look how close we got.
She moved in early into the pandemic, though, didn't she?
She moved in early 2020.
So it might have been...
Not early 2020. She moved like end of summer 2020,
Okay, all right.
maybe summer 2020. But I think it was like after that. Like I don't think it was like right away. It wasn't when she first moved here. I think it was.
Okay.
Anyway, I think at that time though it was very much a vibe of like, look at how close we came to this. And now I'm watching it. I'm like, ah, shit. We're at like
we
the
hit
end
it.
of this episode. We're at the fucking checkpoints. We're at the registration lists. We're at all of that. You know what I mean? People getting shot in the street. Like we're 100% just there.
Yeah.
And so that's like.
Well, I mean, it's crazy that like in this one of the big moments is like, look, they're visitors are just hanging out on the corners with their guns.
Yep.
We've been living that in like some cities since 9/11.
I'll never forget New York City. Like the first time I went down to Penn Station, and there were fucking guys with machine guns down there after 9/11, and I was like, "This is fucked, man. This is fucked." And like like when apparently they're coming back to LA this week. By the way, a big event or thing that they're probably just causing trouble. But like I remember being downtown for the protest last time that the Marines came here and just seeing Marines on the street, and it was like, this is nuts. This is not how it's supposed to be.
No.
But like, no, that's the thing. Like, so like when Elias and Ben are talking and Ben is talking about how bad things are, he has to shut up because a fucking visitor walks by. Yeah. And like, it's not that, it's not, it just isn't that far off. It just isn't that far off. And the funny thing also is like, I know one of the things you say is like, oh, well, these visitors are trying to do propaganda and like be good, but like they had these evil guys in their helmets and stuff and with their guns. And it's like, oh no, we're doing that now. We have guys in the streets with death masks on.
Yeah.
Taking children.
Also, not for nothing, but we watch Star Wars and we're like, oh, the stormtroopers, they're cool looking. We watch V and we're like, oh, V, they're cool looking. It's cool looking outfits. And that's what you see in the images. Like, oh, that guy's wearing a cool looking outfit. And people buy into that. No, I'm saying like in this stuff.
Oh, but I'm saying like the ice guys don't look cool though. They just look
No, they look like fucking idiots because they're doughy douchebags wearing like armor while they're getting yelled at by a lady in a robe. And it's
they look like they're dressing like Call of Duty characters. Like that's what they look like. They're cosplaying as Call of Duty characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not But that's the thing is that all these TV shows did make us think that all these movies and TV shows thought we would be ruled by a better class of authoritarian. I mean, like I don't want to be ruled. Yeah. I don't want to be ruled by aliens, but like, come on, that's like certainly better than like. There's an old Onion headline.
At least John's not up all night tweeting.
There's an Onion headline in the Our Dumb Century book where it's when they get to the Persian Gulf War, it's like bottom 2% of your graduating class going to go die in the Middle East for oil. And like, that's what's happening on the streets. Like the bottom 2% of your class is out there kidnapping children. Like that's like, we don't have anybody cool. Like Bovino's a joke. He's a 4'1" guy who's a dope, just total doofus.
Cash Patel looks like he shit his pants every time a camera's on him.
Yeah. JD Vance is like, somebody was like, JD Vance is the guy that you hate the most in your political science class. Like, they're all just, well, it's also like every person in this administration is the worst version of a bad type of person. Like, know this type of person, and they're the worst version of that type of person.
And they're like cartoonishly evil.
Yeah,
they're the craziest thing about like,
evil. Yeah.
Like the thing with Chrissy Nome stealing that kid's dog.
Nuts.
And it's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Nuts.
You stole a 4-year-old's dog? Like,
it's nuts.
What is happening?
Yeah, it really is absolutely insane, and they are just the worst people. I mean, did you hear the thing that was Christy Nome fired a Coast Guard pilot?
Yeah, because he left her blanket on a plane.
He left her blanket. Yeah, like give me a fucking break. That's you can't do that. Like you can't do that. That's insane.
No.
They by the way, they had to rehire him immediately because they had nobody to fly.
Because nobody else could fly the plane. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I actually kind of want to reboot a Visitors V where the visitors are that stupid. Like I really, they're all Willy. They're all just Willy, but evil.
It's essentially if the Pecklets from Star Trek came. That's how it would work. Yeah, we've been taken over by the fucking Pecklets.
Oh my
Jesus.
God. All right, we'll be back again next week with episode 2, the finale of the original miniseries, and then we're going to switch over to the final battle, a 3-part miniseries. So hopefully if you've never watched V before, you watch this first episode and you're like, wow, this is actually pretty fucking good. And it's got, it's an 80s show. It's an early 80s show. There's like stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think it's as cringy stuff as like there's the El Salvador rebel when he's like, "You got that, Jack," is like, but I don't feel like there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
I
crazy.
mean, part of the problem is that we're very used to this era of television, so it's like a
Yeah.
little bit harder for us to pick some of that stuff out that might be clanging for a younger generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
When with at the part on the UN roof where they have like a perfectly diverse group of like people in their ethnic garb, standing behind the Secretary General, I was like, okay, that probably somebody's probably rolling their eyes right now at that. But that's just like very 80s. Like, how do we let everybody know these people are all foreign? Well, we're going to put them in their traditional garb. Like, that's how it's going to work.
Yeah. And I'm sure like Robin saying that the guy's a fox. I don't think people use that anymore. Right?
Yeah, but that's just like slang terminology. I mean, like in terms of like TV stuff, that's like TV conventions and tropes that we're just very immune to because we grew up with those conventions and tropes that might feel weird to a younger audience. I'm kind of curious if folks had that experience. Let us know. I want to hear about it. If you're considering ever writing in a letter, this is a good thing to write a letter in about. Tell us.
I will skip ahead on letters as we do this to discuss V letters. So
okay,
because usually I just do them in order, but for this, I think it's important that we do V letters.
That's a great idea. So,
Vetters,
all right,
I'm going to call it Vetters.
We'll see you guys again next week for the finale of the original miniseries. Until then, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you be well, and we will see you across the Omniverse.